Hey, starting a little bit early today. This is stream number 299. That means tomorrow is going to be stream 300. And I have no idea what kind of special thing I might do. Although it is sort of an arbitrary milestone. Anyway, last Friday I was working on refactoring the front end to my game. I think I'll continue doing that today. So, two main areas of refactoring I know I need to do is break up the reducers in my app into smaller pieces and then go through the React components and break those up into smaller components. So for example, reducers, admin reducer. This reducer is over 1,000 lines long. It's a little bit too long. And I think one way of seeing how it's collected too much stuff is to look at the shape of the state that this reducer is in charge of. So, hey, there's 715209. How are you doing? So, for example, the camera stuff could just be a separate reducer, right? The camera has nothing to do with, for example, the Twitch integration, and that has nothing to do with the script editor. So all these things could be separate reducers. So I'm gonna be breaking up this reducer into smaller reducers. Say there, Red Sky 1 and Rally Monkey. How are you people doing? I'm okay. It's a Monday. I'm okay for a Monday, but I hate Mondays. I really would just like to crawl back into bed. Make myself work though. And I need to start thinking of New Year's resolutions. So I already have one, which is to resume regular exercise. Maybe part 1B would be during the stream every hour I would get up and stretch or something. Yeah, I'm early today because I have to leave a little early to pick up someone from school. Can you believe one of my kids still has school? Like between Christmas and New Year's? It's true. So I'll have to leave around 1 p.m. my time, so I need to end an hour early. I know. Oh, guess who's ascending the tower? That's right. It's Casper. Kitty, hello, Kitty. Hi. Hi, Kitty. He's staring at me. Now he's looking away. Hey there, Romania. How are you doing? I know. Isn't he cute? And he's just gonna sit there and stare at me the whole time. It's going okay for a Monday. I hate Mondays, Romania. You're chilling. That's good. Beast. Yeah. I say Beast so much. I don't. His name actually isn't Beast. His real name, no human knows because cats don't reveal their true names to anyone. But we call him Casper, or just Kitty. I fall into this trap of like not using even the names we assign the cats. Just call them Hey Cat or Kitty. Nickname Beast. I just that was because of the cool picture I got, which I turned into an emote where he kind of looks fearsome or messed up or something. Code name. There you go. I don't know. It's all in good fun. So anyway, this reducer is too big, and I'm just going to be working today on breaking it up into smaller reducers. So I have this many reducers. How many is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I have 7 reducers, and they're too big. So probably at the end of this, I'll have something like 20 some reducers. And each individual reducer should be a lot simpler and easier to understand, and then I'll have a better idea of the groupings of the state of the app. So if you haven't seen it, this is what the app looks like. So we're using Phaser, which is in Redux middleware called Stage. So this is like the stage. And that's drawing the game world. And the rest of the page is rendered using React components. And those React components are pulling from the same state that the that whose middleware is driving the graphics and drawing it with Phaser. You can aggregate reducers in a reducer. Yeah, I'm reducing the reducers exactly. Well, we end up combining them in the end, right? So it's really just making the tree deeper, so to speak, right? Or is it wider? Wider, not deeper. So there will be more names, and each individual name will cover less. You can make a big reducer broke into small reducers. That's what I'm doing, right? I'm taking things out of admin reducer and just putting it into a separate one. Are you mean like making another level so I can make admin look like use combined reducers and have several levels? I could do that too. Yeah. Really, there's nothing special about the word admin. We could have... I guess I could do that. I could make admin use combined reducers and just separate these into different pieces now. Try for a subset and see how it works. Yeah. Yeah, so we can do that. So that would be making a new folder called admin, and in there have just move admin reducer in there, and then no, let's not do that. Rename it index, and change this one to be import admin from admin, right? That first step should work, shouldn't it? Oh, except for these imports will have to go up an extra level. So that works just as is. So I've pushed it down one level. Now I can have it use the same kind of combined reducers that we do down here. And instead of exporting this one, we'll call this one something else, like actually, how do you... Combined reducers pushes everything down one level. So what if I call it legacy? What if we make one called legacy right now? So const legacy equals, and then this just combines legacy, and then we'll just go through and change admin to admin.legacy everywhere. Hey there, hater. Am I still using ECS? Yeah. Hello, by the way. My experience is pretty good. So just to review a little bit, let me find where I've written this down. Where did I put it down? Under notes, I thought. Any component system. So my experience with ECS is this division has worked out really well for me, at least to help me keep it organized, that I have a nice clean separation between code and data, and entities are very simple, they're just numbers. So this arrangement really worked well for me. As far as like how I divide the components up, the main things that have worked really well are distinguishing the position of an entity in the game and how to draw it, which I call tile. And if I want to attach other things, like this pile of gold here has an item, and that item will say like what kind of thing it is, so the things that are unique to items. So this works out really well. I can place a tile down, and to turn it into an item, all I really need to do is add an item component to that entity. And same thing for these NPCs. All that an NPC really is again, the position in a tile. And there are two things I have to add for hostile NPCs. That's this NPC component, which is used by the game systems that the AI for NPCs, and then caps, which are capabilities. And right now there's only one kind of capability, which is movement. That restricts whether they can walk on land or water or through walls or whatnot, what combination of movement capabilities they have. So yeah, again, all I really need to do to turn something into a monster is to tell it how it can move using the capabilities component, and then add an NPC component, which is kind of big. I might want to split this up. Because it has several different aspects of NPCs. It's whether or not they can be attacked by players, how wide they search for when they're searching to pick up aggro, how many hit points they have. So, for example, I might take the concept of hit points and maximum hit points and make that a separate component because that's shared between players and non-player characters. But things like if you have a loot table, what's the name of the creature? How far they wander away from their spawn point, what kind of weapon they're holding. So these enable the scripts that work with NPCs to control them, and that works out pretty well. There are some missing tools that I would like to add. Like right now, there's no way for me to like query what are all the components that have NPC components in this zone. So I kind of have to visually find them and say, okay, here's one of them, this guy, and then here's another one, this guy. Actually, why is there 3 things? Oh, that's a spawn point. Yeah, so there are some missing tools to peek into my ECS that I don't have. But then again, this is all custom game engine, so it's expected that I don't have stuff until I add it. Using any state machines. Sort of. The scripts, for example, that control the NPCs use some scripts, use some state machines. So let me find one. For the scripts NPC guide, for example, there are 3 different states that the guide NPC, this guy named George, can have. He could be patrolling, he could be guiding a player from one point to another on the map, or he could be returning to his patrol zone. So it's state machines like this, I will hold the state in the NPC component. I can click on George before he moves. So George has a state. So he's right now in the patrol state. That's a very rudimentary state machine. It's got only 3 states. And the state just controls which script he runs whenever he gets a chance to move. So either going to run the patrolling script, guiding script, or returning script. Patrolling, they're all in the same file here. Patrol script, he might aggro on monsters, or else he just wanders around. If he's guiding, he's usually following a path. And while you're following a path, you could also aggro. So there's the ingression script call from there. And this script isn't fully complete or refactored, so it's a little messy. But the point is that there is a state machine for the guide NPC, and there's just 3 states right now. What are some other state machines? I guess you could consider that when he's guiding a player through the map, that you're following a path, and the path has a current step. Where do I put that? This next checkpoint index could be considered a state in a state machine, so it advances from 0 to the length of the path. And when we reach the end of the path, is where he says, "Well, we've reached the end of the path, and so return to the patrolling state." I forget where that is. Yeah, I need to clean up this script. So it's not there's not fundamentally a state machine in the ECS, but the ECS through fields of components supports the variables that you would need to have to hold state, and then the scripts can manipulate the state and become state machines. All right, what was I doing? Oh, right here. I was gonna move this into something called legacy. Right, so I did that, and I'm going to need to go through all of the middleware and all of the React components and have everything start in legacy. Where do you update the game state? Every move. So hold on, I need to undo this because I just broke it. What if I just comment this out for a second? That'll teach me to save while I'm explaining something. So every action that an NPC performs or a player performs or the this GM view, every time I move here, it's actually changing the game state. So if I show you the there's something called a journal, it will be constantly scrolling. Let's go find it. Stage tail F game journal. So it's constantly adding changes to the game. So I'll hit Control C and I'll show you that, for example, this modify component sets the position of a certain entity to a certain position. That's one of these slimes moving. It's whatever 28583 is. It's actually moving from where it was to that new position. And then this is, I think, just changing the next action and next wandered time cooldowns for that same NPC, right? And then this one is launching a particle. So we have some test particle systems up here, right? Basically, this lava zone here is launching these sparks every once in a while. So each one of these is an event in the game. And there should be more here. I mean, that's really basically what's going on. If I move the camera around, for example, there will be a lot of modifying the camera's position. So I know that this is an admin camera because it's at depth 99. So yeah, every time I move the camera, there's another line added to the game's journal. A new year you will have. Hold on, let me start over. Need to warm up the voice. A new year you will have. Good, I wish it to be. Okay, that was horrible. That was horrible. I could do better than that. I need to practice more, though. I need more people to redeem that. Good enough for you? Well, thank you, Raimi. I'm very critical of myself, though. Good enough for me. So I can't say the me very well. Good enough it is. Does Yoda even ever say the word me? Or is it always in third person? But hello, Raimi. How are you doing? It's a Monday. My Yoda impression is going to be horrible today in my ears. You never watched Star Wars? But you must have heard Yoda. Never watched Star Wars? Oh my goodness. Well, at least you can look up and see which ones are the good Star Wars. Yoda, you seek Yoda. Take you to him, I will. Yes, yes. So I got, if it's closer to a line from the movies, I could say it pretty well. You prefer yogurt from Spaceballs? Why would you watch it when you got me? Because I'm not the best. But what's the best Star Wars movie? I think the most popular one was Empire Strikes Back. But then you got to see the one before that, New Hope, at least. So I'd recommend, if you've never seen Star Wars, at least watch New Hope and then Empire Strikes Back. What is that? Merchandising. Yeah, that's from Spaceballs. All right, let's... So hopefully I answered the question well enough that everything that happens in the game, every slime that moves, every particle that gets launched, a new line gets added to the game journal. And at some point we can see how many lines have been added. I think it's in the hundreds of millions. Where would I see that? Probably if I look at the... if I grep index from the game snapshot. Oh, it's probably in a lot of places. So I can't do less, because less is broken. Let's just look for it in here. I probably need to do grep-i. Yeah, so we're at, for the test environment, we're at 22 million changes to the game. So it doesn't mean that I have a single game journal with 22 million lines, because that would be really difficult for the game to, when I start the program, to read all 22 million game changes from the beginning of the game to now. So what happens is every, like for the test environment, every, I think, 150 changes to the game happens. We squash it back down into what's called a snapshot, which is kind of like a current state of the game, and remove all the previous history, and then we start a new journal. And then recently, I have extracted the ticketing system separate from the snapshot, so that this is going to migrate to a real database, while this remains something that is outside the, not a database. But yeah, you can think of it, the snapshot is the current state of the game, and the journal is all changes since the last snapshot. And if I didn't snapshot every 150 changes to the game, we would just have a journal and would have 22 million lines in it. So it would be tremendously huge. You could undo reverse time. I could, yeah, as long as we have snapshots. I can go back to any of these snapshots and replay using the journals from that point to the current time, or we can just go on an alternate timeline and have something else happen from an old snapshot. The reason I have two reasons to keep snapshots around. One is that the game actually runs on multiple programs, and these could be on different machines or the same machine. And this is for fault tolerance. So this server 11 is actually running the game, and servers 10 and 12 are running just copies. So that if 11 were to crash, either server 10 or server 12 could immediately start running the game and not lose any state. So we keep snapshots in case, like, if I added a server 13, then 11 would send to 13 the current snapshot, and then 13 would be ready to serve the game. Thanos incoming. Oh no. Snap the fingers, and then we're going back to an old snapshot, right? So the other reason to have a snapshot is when, let's say there's some data corruption, some bug, and these servers go all completely out of whack, I can at least go back to a previous snapshot and, like Thanos, just say, well, we're going back to some other time continuum. And I have it set to, like I said, for the test environments, every 150 game actions. So it's every minute or so, it's making a new snapshot. In production, it's every 5 to 10 minutes. And then I have it keep the last hour's worth of snapshots, and then older snapshots is 1 per hour up to the last day, and then 1 per day up to the last week, and then 1 per week to the last month, and then 1 per month. So I have snapshots for June, July, August, September, October, November, and then starting in December, there's 1 for every week, and then over the last week, there's 1 for every day. So essentially just a window, a sliding window of snapshots, and we drop the old ones, except for we keep 1 per month. So it's for backup purposes. So backup purposes, and then bringing up new servers. Or if one of these servers, like let's say 12, crashed, and it took a while for 12 to come back online, and then in that time, we've already taken a new snapshot, 12 is going to say, well, my snapshot's too old. You're going to have to give me a new one. And then 11 will send in a new snapshot. So that's all built in and described in this algorithm that I implemented called, not REST, it's, why am I having a brain fault here? Raft. So yeah, there you go. I didn't come up with this algorithm. A really smart person, much smarter than I am, came up with it. I just implemented it. I like to implement stuff from scratch. That's one of the things about my stream. And I'm still not done implementing it. There are some bugs in it, but it's functional enough to run my game. At least unless if it gets extraordinarily stressed, like servers crashing, it does run into problems, and I have to essentially pick one snapshot and just replicate it manually, and then tell the cluster, okay, just start over from this snapshot, and then it comes back up. All right, I'm working on splitting up the admin reducer, right? And we're gonna make a subset. So this was going to start out with const legacy equals, and this is going to pull in legacy, right? So everything that uses admin has to do admin legacy to start with. So let's just go through the different middlewares and look for .admin. So in the middlewares, it's all going to be get state .admin. So there are at least 55 in this file. Smart as you, I am not, Rally Monkey. A big, beautiful brain you have. Smart as you, I am not. They say it better that time. I gotta practice. Hey there, you squid. I get tongue twisted, and I need to practice more. See, your voice is like a musical instrument, and you have to practice, and you have to practice more. And if you don't, you'll just be sloppy with it. Just like if you're playing the flute and you don't play it very much, and then you have to play it for a concert. It sounds terrible. All right, 95 results. I'm gonna change these all to get state admin legacy. Do it. Do it. And that should hit all of the middlewares. Now I need to do the views. Let's start. Actually, let's just search for admin in view. Could I just do views? Hold on. It's source. It's player console source views, right? Player dash console source views. Okay, not these. So some of these we don't want. What if I just do m and dot? Okay, that's better. Those are all ones we want to change. So let's change that to admin.legacy. Maybe that's all I need to do. Although it probably isn't. Combine reducers is not defined. Well, that's true. So in this index, I need to import combine reducers from Redux. Okay. Map is undefined from zones. Where are we? We're in the character panel. Okay. Character panel. Okay, these it didn't find for some reason. Oh, I should have done slash from here. Isn't that right? Or is it no slash star slash? There we go. So there are 49 more that need to be changed. Do it. Rebuild, won't ya? There it goes. Nope, there's one more. Chat with menu. Okay, so legacy.legacy we need to fix to just legacy. Do it. Hey, look at that. Okay, so now the goal will be to get rid of the legacy reducer. One step at a time. So this being the legacy reducer. Let's separate the camera out. Why not, right? So I'm going to copy the index and call it camera reducer. And so index, just like this index, we're going to want to import it and then add it to the combine reducers. So import a camera from camera reducer. And then put camera here. You have a New Year's resolution to lose weight, but you received a lot of candy for Christmas. People want you to eat it. You're at an impasse. Yeah, that's a tough one because I got this. Hold on a second. Let me turn the camera off for a second so I can reach over. I have this dilemma. I received this for Christmas. Orange slices. I love these things, but like, it's got 35 servings, each with 90 calories. So that's what, roughly 3,500 calories. So like, I'd have to somehow budget that in if I was going to lose. I shouldn't even put this in front of me. Like one of my kids got that for me, so like I can't just throw it away. I got to eat it, right? And that kind of candy goes bad after a while. So yeah, what am I gonna do? I would say try to make a calorie budget, and you can eat a little bit at a time, and maybe that'll help you get more organized about losing the weight. So that's something I might do, is set a budget, a candy budget. You can eat one or two pieces a day. Maybe you go on an extra walk or something to burn it off. Eat it all and then don't eat it again for a day and a half. I don't know if it works that way. I would say a little bit at a time. But make some kind of budget. I might do that too. All right, camera reducer. We just want the cameras from here. We're not going to combine reducers. This needs to be one more level. Did it do that automatically? No, it didn't. So I have to do it myself. Eat it while out on a walk? I mean, you could. You could. Some would say that that's one way to make sure you stay in the budget. Say the only time you're allowed to eat the candy is while you're out walking to burn the calories off. But I think the trick is to stay consistent and disciplined. So is avatar something that goes with the camera? I think it is. So we're going to keep avatar and camera, but drop everything else. If I did this right with the naming, then that should be it, and I can just drop all of this other stuff. In fact, I could drop the word camera off of these too, right? Gonna try to take more walks. Yeah, me too. That's one of my New Year's resolutions, is to exercise more. So walking, stretching, and either lifting or pull-ups, push-ups, I think. Yeah. Let's see. None of this has to do with the camera, right? There's new camera position. We need that. A new avatar. Not even necessarily for exercise, just to be outside. Yeah. Just collecting vitamin D from the sun is a good thing, right? Not being inside all the time. It could also be fun. Gonna start a resolution to stop procrastinating. No, well, Riley and Monkey, why put off till tomorrow what you can put off till the day after tomorrow? I'm still working on that joke, but I'm a dad, so I'm allowed to say dad jokes, right? Okay, paint depth. None of this has to do with the camera, so I'm going to remove all of it. I think this is the part of the admin reducer that has to do with the camera. So this goes back to export default. We remove this part, right? This is the quality content you come for? Okay. I try to be myself, because if I am always trying to be someone else, then ultimately I'm going to fail. If I'm just myself, then even though I might have like a silly sense of humor, at least it's me, and then I can be consistent, right? I kind of have come to accept that I have a very strange sense of humor, and not everyone likes it. It's going to be the first year you're doing New Year's resolutions. What I think really helps with the New Year's resolution is you to stay disciplined, is you write it down. So write a log, and then make it part of the habit that you wrote down. Yes, like either in your schedule, like you actually schedule the walk. It's going to be from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. or something like that. And then maybe even like, if it helps, write down a journal saying you walked today, or you're going to walk tomorrow. And then I've heard that really helps. For me, I think the schedule thing will help. If I just schedule it, then I will walk for a half an hour during these time slots, and then I'll actually go and do it. My phone will nag me to go actually do it, and maybe that'll work. Add component. We don't need that, right? Admin start, we don't need. Change component, I don't need. I'm looking for if any of these actions impacts this camera state. None of this. Create camera components, we need it, right? Yep. Another key point apparently is assigning numbers, like goal numbers. Oh, right. So like, if you say I'm going to go on a walk every day, it's like I'm going to go on a walk for 10 minutes or more per day. Hold on, I'm getting a text from Mrs. Raimu. What is this? I don't even know what this is. Oh, is it a door? Okay. All right. Should I say Raimi says hi? No. I asked her, are you ever going to appear on camera? And she's like, oh, no, never. I'm like, I wonder if this is a common thing with streamers' wives or streamers' significant others. They never like to appear on stream, with a few notable exceptions. To keep it measurable, yeah, to do, yeah, in fact, you would say, I'm going to walk at least 10 minutes, and then after you get back, you can say, I walked for 12 minutes, and then you can feel better that you exceeded your minimum. So I'll tell her that Raimi and A Squared said hi. To be fair, you're popular with moms? Okay. Destroy entity. We don't want that. We don't need this one. We definitely don't need the chatbot stuff. Don't need any of... Okay, we need this one, though. That's a good thing. You get friend points from that because if your friend's moms like you, then like your friend is going to be happy. It's easier on them. They can be like, I can bring my friend. I can bring my friend home because my mom likes them, right? Camera entity requested. Yes, debug tile collections. See, you're a good friend then. Talking to your friend's family, that's a really nice thing to do. Debug tile collections. Because when I think about it, my kids' friends, the ones that I like the best, are the ones that take the time to be polite to me and don't just ignore me. I don't hold it against them if they don't want to, because I know what it's like to be a shy person and like not want to talk to people I don't know. But it's like, I don't penalize them, but if you do talk to me, it's like you score bonus points. So, and then it's like less awkward as well. Although I've come to understand that I don't care about awkwardness as much anymore. My kids will say, oh, that was awkward. And I'm like, really? Okay, I guess awkwardness doesn't stick to me very much now. Do I need any of this stuff? No. This one I need because it talks about camera, doesn't it? No, it doesn't. Okay, I guess I don't... Wait a minute, don't I need this? No, I guess not. Okay, dropping it. Not awkward until someone says it's awkward for you most of the time. That's good. Some of my kids, though, have a... what would you call it? A burden where they, when they feel awkward, it's more difficult for them. And I'm trying to let them know that, you know, you can choose to... you can work on that and have things not be so awkward. I think it's a sign of being introvert. And so you have to kind of put some willpower into compensating for that awkwardness that you feel of being an introvert. Yeah, exactly. My kids will sometimes say, well, that was an awkward silence. I'm like, well, I kind of enjoyed that silence. I understand where they're coming from, though. They're like, they feel nervous because people are thinking and not saying anything, and they're like, what are they thinking? Are they thinking something bad about me? Stuff like that. And I'm like, well, no, we're just enjoying the silence. Maybe part of it is just realizing it's not always about you. Let's see. You can make things awkward with things you blurt out or get rid of awkward silence. See, I have the one advantage is that since I'm a dad, if I say something awkward, I can always say, oh, well, I'm a dad, so, you know, I'm allowed to say dad jokes that are awkward, so. I just have to be careful not to embarrass my kids as much. Okay. None of this stuff has to do with the camera, so I'm just going through and deleting it. You know, if I make a mistake, I'll just pull it back from the legacy stuff, right? Reflect script error. I'm going to miss something. I already can feel, I can sense that I'm going to miss something. Oh, okay, I need this because there's the camera stuff. I don't need this. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to just go through the legacy stuff and see if any of these action types mention some of the state that we have and so need to be brought into the camera reducer. Okay, that I want. Don't need this. You don't think your parents ever embarrass you too much? Same with my parents. My parents are awesome. I think it depends on if your parents are extroverts or introverts. That's my guess. Introvert parents won't embarrass you too much because they'll kind of be conservative about speaking and they'll not want to embarrass you. But an extrovert parent will just try to be everyone's friend, and it's like, Mom, you know, that was awkward. You trying to make friends with my friends. So do I need session end? I think I can just keep this simple, right? Session end, like we're resetting, so can I just say return initial state? Yeah, why didn't I just do that before? Okay, we need camera. That one we need. Brush it off and say, well, there's a reason you're like this. We'll see, that's good. Yep. All right. This is just a lot of crud I'm going through here. I'm glad I'm refactoring this stuff because this stuff is like cruddy as heck. Yeah, this is much more manageable. Okay, so I'm going to go through and look for the word avatar in the legacy stuff and make sure that it's only in the actions I care about. So stage avatar, do we have that? Aha! I missed it. Let's pull it back in. So that goes above stage camera. What else? Toggle show avatar. Aha! I missed that one too. See? I'm glad I'm doing this now. Avatars what we're searching for. Update avatar. Wow, I really messed up and deleted these I didn't want to. Okay, that's the last one. Okay, next thing. Camera client, right? Hold on. Camera client. Where is camera client mentioned? Reflect server disconnected. Do we have that? Nope. So I need that one. Reflect server disconnected. So I just want camera client. Yeah, just those variables. Okay. So really, I could have just done this in reverse. I could have started with an empty switch and pulled in the cases that I should have needed. Temporary entity. I have that one. Okay, so camera components created. Create camera components. Yes. Reflect temporary entity. I don't know that. Okay. Next. Camera entity. Create reflect camera entity requested. Yes. Server disconnected. I know we have that one. Temporary entity. Request camera entity. Do I have that? Yes. Okay, cool. Next. Camera position. Reflect camera position. Yes. Stage camera. Do I have that one? Yes. Okay, good. And then Camera server. Temporary entity. Request camera entity. Okay, good. New avatar. Stage avatar. I have that one, right? Yep. Update avatar. I have that, right? Yes. Cool. And the new camera position is the last one. Do I have reflect camera position? Yes. Stage camera. Yep. Okay, so that's good. So now I can basically strip out from the legacy here. So we're removing avatar and all the camera stuff. So I don't need initial avatar or initial camera position. And then I'm removing new avatar, new camera position. And then I'm going to either removing these cases completely or removing parts of them. So this one's removed completely. Reflect camera position. Yeah, this one goes completely. This one too. Server disconnected. This is partial, right? Since I still need that key, but not these ones. No, these ones, right? Yes. Okay. Temporary entity. That's just for the camera, so I can remove this completely. Request camera entity. Completely removed. Session end, we want part of that. Actually, can I just do the same thing? Return initial state? I don't see why I can't. Stage avatar. Avatar! Stage camera. Toggle show avatar. You know, I never did update the current task, did I? I'm not starting up the stream anymore. I am splitting my game's admin Redux reducer into smaller pieces. Right? Toggle show avatar. And update avatar. Okay. Now I gotta go through any middleware that uses these variables in, like, avatar. Let's do all JS files. Actually, I can just look for legacy.avatar. And change it to camera.avatar, right? Like that? I think so. Oh, not camera legacy. Yeah, that's what I want. So go ahead and do it. Wait, why is it? Do it. Cool. Now we do legacy camera client, right? Oh, wait a minute. I just messed that up. It just replaced it with camera. It should be camera avatar. Dang it. Yeah. You got it, Rami. I need to how do I undo that last one? I guess I can look for there will be just a I can't undo that now. I'll just when I see it it'll well, I guess I can just look for the word avatar. Right here, right? It'll be camera, it'll be admin.camera. We can search for that. Yes. So let me do this trick. I'll put that back. Oops. And I'll say replace that with admin camera avatar. There. We fixed it. All right. Let me do this a little bit more carefully now. So it's going to be admin legacy camera client replaced with that, right? Yes. And then that replaced with that. That replaced with that. Four more. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Hey there, Kane. And did I say hi to Nui? I don't think I did. Hi, Nui. Yeah, you can't undo with the replace all. That's why they have the are you sure? Are you really sure you want to do that? Okay, I broke something. Oh, did I have too many dots here? Oh yeah, I do have too many. Okay, so the admin camera is this thing. So as long as all of these work. Okay, that didn't work. I broke that. That checkbox is broken now. I can't hit it. So that would be in the character panel. Admin camera avatar, and then how do we change it? Toggle show avatar. Oh, show avatar flag. Okay, so that flag should have been moved and wasn't. Okay, so that needs to go here. There we go. That gonna fix it? There. Hey there, Healer Rend. How are you doing? Good morning indeed. Okay, it's partially working. The state is flipped in Redux, but it's not actually doing anything to the game. So that is done in a middleware. Actually, I think I know what it is. Yeah, I forgot to change these, right? So this turns into admin camera, show avatar. There we go. There I am, GM. And I can, I don't have a tile select here, but I have to do that, right? I'm a king. I am a guard. I am a dude. Yeah, this works. And then I can hide it if I want. All right. So that's done. Check it in. So what's going on here? All right, we split it and pushed it a level down. Got it. It's going to be a lot of changes hit by these things. So work in progress, refactoring front end admin reducer. So push admin reducer JS down one level to admin index JS. Split out camera related part of admin reducer to camera .js. Commit. All right. Hey there, Toulouse. Good morning. Morning it is. All right. A little small piece of the admin reducer got split out. And what we have left is this. So next part. I think I'm going to pull the script editor stuff out next, maybe. Either that or the chatbot stuff. Chatbot is only 2 things. Let's pull the script editor stuff out. So, copy that and paste it, call it script reducer. Import script from script reducer. Add script here. Script reducer. We're not going to combine reducers for doing that. So the initial state is just the script stuff, right? Let's see, any of this stuff relevant? No. So actually that one is. Actually selected entity, yeah, selected entity we don't need, right? Hey there, iGrok. You reversed my hi. So it's like that instead. Yeah, now you can make Rymu 8EJ is really the reversed Atom EJ, which I don't have yet, but it would be Atom EJ underscore HF. Right? So you actually don't need a sub to me anymore to get the reverse cactus, so you can just unlock it in Atom's channel. Scripts. Selected player, selected script contents, we want that one. It's just these variables then. So I'm going to try the reverse of what I did just now, see if it's faster. I just remove all of that and make this an export default. And then pull in the states that I do want. So if I want selected script entity, then I want reflect script removed. And do I want all of it? Yes. Do I want script? Okay, next. We're still searching for that, right? Let's remove it from here. Select script we want, all of it. Okay, that's all of it. So next is script editor submit action. So we want that whole one. There you go, A squared. I guess that's one way to get Atom EJ, is you just reverse mine. Or is it like this? Thinking while waving. Okay, what's next? Script editor title. Already done. Next, script errors. Clear script errors goes there. Okay, and we need reflect script error. Script error goes here. What are we searching for? Script errors? No more. Okay, script profiling active. So these two. I put them in the wrong place. ST goes after SE. All right, next. Script profiling report. That goes here. All right, next. Actually, let me search again. I don't know if that search correctly. Okay, yeah, we're good. Scripts. So script added, updated, and reflect the scripts, all of these. Okay, I have no idea what order these are going to be in. Script added, script updated, scripts. I suppose that goes in the midst of those two, because S comes between an A and a U. And then, I feel like I'm sorting this manually. That's okay. A, E, S, U, and then P. Okay, so we're going to move these two at least. P and R right here. Hey there, Emerdium. Good. Christmas has been good, yeah? How about you? Good evening. Good evening. Stay and help you, I will. Yes? I gotta practice. Alright, selected script contents. Do I have that one? No. Okay, I need that one. Set selected script context, so that would go here, right? Gotta practice. I gotta watch Return of the Jedi again and just like repeat the line, repeat all of Yoda's lines. I gotta get better at Emperor Palpatine too. Let's see. Are we done? There's script search criteria. Do I want that one? I think I do. Let's pull that one into scripts. I did pull it in. Okay. So I need this action. Set script search criteria. Set scripts. So that would go here. Yeah. Okay. I hope I'm done. So then the same kind of work I did before, where I'm looking for admin.legacy.that is replaced by admin scripts.selected script entity, right? Script. Script. Should I call it script or scripts? Let's call it scripts. So that would be make that an S, make that and that an S, and then rename this to have an S in it. And that's it, right? So back to the search replace. Do it. Execute order 66. It's not order, it's order. 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 Execute order 66. Do it. Okay, yeah, this one. I wonder if I could write a script to do this. It's like search replace these patterns with everything in the initial state. It probably would take me longer to write such a script than it would be just to do these changes, right? So I could probably remove the word script from all these names too. Now that I think about it. Okay, do we never use script profiling report? Huh. Let me get back to that one in a minute. Scripts. That's going to be a problem. I hate it when words repeat like that. Okay, now what's the deal with script profiling report? Oh, we're sorting it in state and we never needed it. It could, because I think it's because middleware caught it directly. Yeah. We just save it as a file, so it doesn't need to be there at all. We can just remove this and this from the reducer, since we don't actually need to keep it in Redux. Okay, so now is it completely damaged? Let's see. So that worked so far. Can I edit? Yes. Can I add something to it? How about we add a comment? Raimu was here. Submit. Oh, that's not how you do a comment. Well, I guess that's one test. That's actually a good thing. So let me test adding A, B, C. It's like uncanny how I got to exactly 10,000 with my scripts. Add, edit, foo bar, submit. Still there. Can I delete it? Yes. Okay. It all works. Does profiling work? Seems to. Okay then. Does the filter work? Yes. Although I really don't need this anymore, since I automated this with Python anyway. I guess I guess we're done. So this one is, let me steal the last comment. Split out script related part of admin reducer to scripts reducer. Comment. Actually, I can't say it like that, right? Isn't it? To us, all your base are belong. I guess I could just say it like you typed it. All your base are belong to us. What? How would Yoda actually rephrase that? To us, all your base are belong. Ugh. I screwed up the R. Actually, wouldn't it just be, to us, all your base belong? And hey there, Mr. Halsey. How are you doing? I keep screwing up the Yoda voice though. I need to work on that more. Must work on it. Work on it. I must work on it. Work on it. I must. Or is it must I work on it? Must I? Yes, yes. Good morning. Morning it is. All right. Back to admin index, right? What more can I reduce out of here? We're under 1,000 lines, though. Kitty being given attention to by someone else. Let's see. This is all the... No, this is different parts. I know Kitty has been attended to, and now he's awake. Debug tile collections, maybe? I want to get rid of legacy. So, do I need a junk drawer catch-all? No, that was my son. Mrs. Raimu is at Knott's Berry Farm right now. Let's see. Where do we use servers connected? Cluster status. And in the What's this one? Admin middleware. Okay. Show ghosts is on the stage, also in the character panel and the entities panel. Why are we using it in the entities panel? Oh, I remember why. Yeah, so that we don't show entities that are ghosts if it's turned off. Versions. I guess it would help if I just reorganize this in place into different sections, right? So let's do that from the top. Let's try to organize this. So we have tile debugging. What's enable admin login? What is that? Oh, I remember that box. Where do we set that? Set that enable admin login. Okay, so this is what would this be? Would it make sense to have a separate golem reducer? Yeah. There's going to be one for that. Definitely. I'm just going from the top here. This enable admin login. So this is a flag that if it's set, then we show the little drop box where we can put the key in there. Let's call it login. Entities. This is the it's used here. So what would that be? Entities? And what's key? Oh, key goes with login. Initial server ID goes where? What's this used for? Oh, this is once we've connected as an admin and we get back the configuration of the game, we figure out what server we're actually talking to. So this is used during login then. It's okay, why do I even store it there? It's only used here as a boolean. Hey, do I even need to do this? I never actually use that variable. What if I just remove it then? Actually, I guess this could be, there could be some side effect with that. There is, okay. Yeah. That's because the admin connects to all the servers, not just one. So yeah, so anyway, this goes with login. And what about initial server port? Is that also it's the same thing? So that's part of login. Okay, mail blacklist. That is email or mail. Next script error. Oh, that goes with script, doesn't it? Aha, that didn't get moved like it should have. That should go there. Paint depth. What are we calling this one? The tiles. It's not really the right name. Oh, we'll call it tiles. Players. We'll call it players. That goes with that. Raft. We'll call this cluster. Oh, you left so soon? Where are you going? Meow to you too. I don't know why he left, but he's gone. He has left us. Maybe he wants to go outside. Reflected entities action. That probably goes with entities. What do we use that for? Oh, that's the action to dispatch once we have gotten a list of entities. So I guess we'll put that with entities and selected entity. What about selected position? That's used everywhere. Oh, that's when we're drawing. When I click there, that's the selected position. So what would that go with? Tiles, maybe? I don't want to call it tiles. We'll call it world. Selected position. There we go. And maybe group in entities in there. No, this is specific to editing into here. And entities is more this panel where there's some overlap there, but this might not necessarily be in the world. Selected player, where is that used? Players panel, so that should go here. Selected zone. I put it on the character panel, but really, it really ought to go into its own place, or maybe even fold it into this one. There's a lot of overlap between these two, though. I think it does go with world, though. Server being upgraded. That should go with cluster. Servers authenticated should go with login, and so should servers connected. Show ghosts should go into the world. Show masked names. That's maybe player? Players. Versions is cluster, and zones is world. Okay, am I happy with this breakdown? I mean, they're nice and small. This is a good name. That's a good name. That's okay. Mail, golem, entities. This is maybe the weakest one, especially because there's another name called entities in there. Yeah, I don't know. This isn't just login, it's also when we're connected or authenticated. How about connection? Actually, you know what? I'm just going to keep it login. So, tile debugging. Let's call this debug. Actually, I wonder if I could just fold that into world. Because we're painting it in the world. Yeah, let's do that. World is small enough. World will have debug tiles in it as well. Okay then. Just go from the top then. So we'll have what am I doing? Copy that to there and call it login reducer. This will import login from login reducer. I don't know why it's not auto-completing for me. Oh, because I'm in the wrong file. Duh. And you go to the index and do that. All right. All right, so here in login reducer, delete that. We don't combine. We don't pull those in. The initial state is just that. And this is export default. Okay. What I did before actually worked out really well. So what I did before is I stripped that completely out, and then I go back here and I just search for where is that used. So this action completely goes there. Next key. Search full name only. There we go. Admin start. Okay, and then initial server ID. Actually, these two can go at once. Initial server port, good. Server's authenticated, so that's this one. And this one. And then server is connected. Reflect server connected. Good. So remove that from there, and then this old search replace thing again. Admin legacy dot that goes to admin login. Shouldn't there have been more than one? Oh, maybe not. So admin legacy key is admin login key. Initial server ID. Initial port. Servers authenticated. Servers connected. I thought about doing an entire stream in Yoda voice, and I figured I'd last maybe 10-20 minutes and then I would lose my voice. Okay, so actually the fact that we're still logged in at all means that this worked. So let's check that in. Yeah, I'd lose my voice.
Because I get to go gravelly like this the whole time.
All right. Yep, so same message as last time, only split out login related to login reducer. All right, we're getting there. Whoops. Okay, entities. This should be a much smaller one. Oh, reuser. Reducer. So here, it's import entities from entities reducer. Entities. All right, and then entities reducer. No combining or any of that. It just has this in it. Export default. I need to adjust my chair. I'm not sitting right here. There. Better. All right. Okay. How do you reference a separate admin set of reducers? So from the top level, it imports this, and that combines, and admin's one of them. And an admin, it's going to go to this index and then combine at that level. So we're just basically building a tree. We can be any depth because this thing that we're importing could be one reducer, or it could be the result of combining separate reducers. So it's a composite structure. Yeah, you can combine to any level. So the side effect is that we'll end up with many levels here, right? So every intermediate level is a combined reducers level, which is actually okay because the way it actually reads pretty well. It's like state, admin, camera. So as we're going from left to right, we're going from more generic to more specific. And then I can make the name shorter. So like I can just name that new position, right? Because we already have the word camera. So it should help it make more readable too. All right, so I'm going to remove all the cases and then pull in the ones we want from here. Entities. Okay, add component. All of it, right? Yeah. Actually, all of that and change component. And then destroy entity. Reflect entities. Oh, thank you for that follow. Okay, so far so good. Remove component, reset component. Yeah, all this stuff is good. Ooh, doesn't that belong in scripts reducer? I think I missed that one. We missed one. Okay, let's remember reset script needs to be moved. Let's bookmark it. I'm gonna clear my old bookmarks. There we go. We'll get back to that one. That one's misplaced. Update component, yes. The big one. I kind of don't like how these... What if I make it do that? Would that make it better? Yeah, that's a little bit better. Okay. We got pulled out entities. Now, reflected entities action. That's this one. Set reflected entities action. So that goes here. Selected entity. Select entity. There. Hey there, Clayman. How are you doing today? I'm refactoring my reducers. Okay, so that is gone. Now I need to fix some... Hold on. Actually, I'll get back to it. I need to go search replace again. Search replace that with... And I'll have to come back to it because I don't like that name entities. I really don't like it. But yeah, for now, let's just do these search replaces. So we're moving stuff from the legacy reducer to the entities reducer. Blop. And make sure it works. So this is mostly related to this panel, right? One thing I noticed is that it selected the globals by default. I wonder if... Did it used to do that? I don't think it did. Hey there, CAPTCHA. Or yeah, CAPTCHA. If only code to refactor itself, life would be much easier. I know, wouldn't it? Okay, let me go back. No, let's check this in. I have a feeling I broke something though, because it didn't used to show the global entities before. But you know, we can fix it later. What we break, we can fix.
Fix it, you must.
So split out entities related part of admin reducer to entities reducer. Spelling mistake. I had a spelling mistake in the other commit. I'm not going to bother to fix it. Time to start a new JavaScript framework that uses machine learning to improve itself over time. That would be scary. That sounds like Skynet to me. We should just call it Skynet. Okay, here's the problem I bookmarked. This shouldn't go here because this scripts is in a different reducer. So to see that bug, the reset button probably doesn't work, right? Actually, typing here didn't work at all. Okay, so there's already a problem in stage script change. Yeah, this one. Yeah, so this shouldn't be here. This should be in scripts reducer. Stage. So stage goes here. Reload. And then reset. Reset didn't work. Oh, reset script. Aha. That's the second one. Turn that off. Reset. So this one also wasn't pulled in. I missed 2 of them. Oh no, that is the one I bookmarked. So there's one I didn't bookmark. So there are actually 2 of them. Okay, well, there are 2 of them, and we got them, right? So let me try the filter again. And let me try adding something here and hitting the reset. Actually, I should probably do update, reset, update. Okay, that all those work then. Cool. Let's remove that line. Submit. We're good, right? Cool. So let's check that in as a fix. Fix bug in not migrating to action handlers. To action handlers and admin reducers. There we go. Not push, just commit. Okay. Down to however many this is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 left. Golem. This one should be quick and easy. Copy, paste. Golem reducer. And in Golem reducer, just remove the combine, remove these imports, remove all of that stuff. This becomes export. Export. Default. Drop that. And then drop all of that. And then in index, we're going to have to pull in Golem, import. That happens when I'm not sitting properly, by the way. Import Golem from Golem reducer. Golem. All right, so Golem channels. This actually might be pretty straightforward because all the actions start with Golem. All right. Golem channels, channel a command. Golem channels, commands, and channels and commands. All right. Anything else? Reflect server configuration. Okay, so this needs to be in both, right? Actually, no, this is only pulling in the Golem channel stuff. So I'm taking the whole thing out, putting it here. And then Golem commands. So reflect commands, command added, command removed, command updated. So this one should go after the others to keep it in alphabetical order. And we're done, right? So I just need to search replace these names now. That goes to golem.dat. And then commands. Do it. And then done. So channels should still work. Can add a command. Foo bar add. And then I can change the name. Change the contents and I can remove it. Cool. And changing that. Seems to work. Okay, I don't want to mess with this stuff though, because I don't even think it has the right OAuth token. It'll just not even work. All right, done. Easy peasy. Oh, I don't want that one. Shoot. I guess I just go to the command. Actually, close that. Log -2, and I'm going to pull out this string. Work in progress. Split out the golem related part of the admin reducer to golem reducer. I actually didn't wait long enough for that to finish. Did it do it? Yeah, it did it. All right, next, mail. Oh, so easy. That might actually, might not even need a mail blacklist to be in the game's panels at all. Okay. Export default. There's only one of it, so I could probably just find where it is. Yeah, this one. So delete everything else. Right, so it's down, everything from here down is deleted. And I'm done already. I just need to get rid of it from here. Easy peasy. And then I need to import it. Import mail from mail reducer. Mail. So mail blacklist. Oh, it's broken. Oh, I didn't do the search replace thing. That's why. So that goes to mail.mail blacklist. So again, I can make the name smaller too. Maybe I'll do that next. So foo at bar add. Why did that not work? Oh, that's interesting. It doesn't show up until I reload. So it actually had an effect, but the reflection didn't work. Huh. I wonder if that actually works and has the same problem in the real game or not. Because I hardly ever used that thing. I might have broken this. Yeah, it was broke. It's broken in production. So I need to file a bug report for that. So that has nothing to do with this refactoring. It was broken all along. Let's enter a new bug. New issue. Mail blacklist changes are not reflected back to the client. This is a bug. Submit. Yay, up to 156 bugs now. All right, this one is split out mail related part of admin to mail reducer. So I got 3 more pieces to go. No bugs, only features. Oh, I forgot about that. Yeah, so there's a feature change to make it reflect properly. Suppose the commands don't run through this, so we don't need to test it? You mean like the golem commands? No, that's all back-end stuff. So this is just the front end. The only thing I use the golem front end thing is if I want to manually edit the commands, but we can do it through the golem itself through like !add com, edit com, del com, alias com, all that stuff. There are a couple features in that, though. Playing with Scissors told me about that. It doesn't reply to tell you if it succeeded or failed. Yeah. Features. Okay. I kind of want to do the easy one first. Let's do cluster. Let's save the best for last. We'll do cluster reducer now, though. So this is just these last ones, which are kind of old, and I need to update them. So that's export default, and this is no more. This should pull in import cluster from cluster reducer. Cluster, and then we're searching for raft. Reflect raft state. Nice. Actually, in the next one too. Do we want versions as well? Oh, yeah. So all three of these at the same time. Wow, was I just lucky that they're all three actions were next, or were all next to each other? Sweet. So I just need to replace admin legacy raft with admin cluster raft. And then that with that. And then versions with the versions. So that's all in here, right? There are no other versions. And then if there were versions, they would show up here, but there aren't any. I'm just going to say it's done because it was really easy. So take that, paste that cluster related part of image reducer to cluster reducer. All right, two more. World and players. Players is the looks big, but it's really only 4 things. Maybe I'll do that next. Yeah. Players reducer. Okay. Export default. I'm getting used to this now. Don't know if that's good or bad. Okay, players. Player added, player removed, player updated, reflect players. They all go together, right? There's player search criteria. Yeah, that's next, I guess. Set comes after, S comes after R. Okay, next is selected player. Select player. And then unselect player. Hey there, Mamba Dev. Hello. How are you doing today? I'm splitting a huge reducer into many pieces. So all of these are all the pieces of the original admin reducer, which was over 1,000 lines long. So now we've grouped it into many different sub-pieces. Show masked names. Set show masked names set. So that goes here. And we're done, I think.
Good. Good. Use your aggressive feelings, boy. Reduce the reducers.
Actually, how does Emperor Palpatine laugh? Something like that. All right, players is legacy players goes to players. I really need to fix these instances where it's repeated. But right now I'm just moving things. I'm not renaming. Selected player. And show masked names. Oh, did I? Players, player. Oh, yeah, I did. Thank you, Toulouse. Always catching my mistakes. Okay, so that should be fixed in the players list now. Oh, nope. Something's broken. Players. Oh, did I forget to import it? I did. Import players from players reducer. Players. That would do it. 175 points. Oh my goodness. Got a lot of points. Alright, does mask and unmask work? Yes. Okay. Show mask names works. Done. Last commits message. We're gonna reuse players related to players reducer. The last piece is really easy because it just rename it, right? Everything left should be the world. Zone added, remove, updated. Zones session end has an initial state. Does that, do I actually really need that? I guess we can use it for that. Actually, we probably need to add that in all the reducers. We should probably have that in all the, in fact, is there an we don't handle init specially. I guess we don't need to. But yeah, we should reset our state on session end. That's basically a logout. A logout resets everything. Selected position doesn't belong here. Oh, it does. Okay, never mind. Okay, yeah, so this can just be renamed world reducer. World shrinker. We're shrinking the world. So this is export default. And then this simply goes to import world from world reducer. It has no initial state. All of this stuff goes. We just export default world. No more legacy. No more action types needed. And that, oh, I need to do the search replace. Actually, at this point, can I just do admin.legacy is replaced with admin world and call it a day? I think I can. I can and I will. I did it. Cool. Ghost works. Yep. And I can go to different zones. I can create a zone. I can go to the created zone. I can remove the old created zone. What else? The debug tile should work. Let's go to where it is. Let's see a debug tile. Where's your wander area, George? There it is. Aggro search. Where's your last pursuit path? There it was. At some point you went from here to here. All right, cool. It's working. An orange slice. You know that I want one, huh? I know that I want one. Have an orange slice. Orange slice. How would Emperor Palpatine say that? So say finish refactoring front end admin reducer. So put remainder of admin reducer under world reducer. Good. You know the orange slice. You know you want it. You must feel. Okay, I guess I don't know what he would say. Actually, what does he say when Luke is standing there and his lightsabers on the chair? You want this, don't you? I can feel your anger. You want this, the orange slice. You want it. I can feel it. Okay, that wasn't so good. Alright, anyway, I think I wanted to work on some of these names. So camera, we can say, camera client could just be client, right? That should just go to client. Yeah. I say we should do it. It is done. And this should just be components created. And this one should just be entity. I gotta be careful if there are local variables. Well, let me look at the changes so far. Make sure I didn't break anything. There might be, because there might be local variables called with the same names. Yeah, so far so good, but I should really be careful when I do this. I should say camera dot camera entity. Should be camera entity. That would be smarter, wouldn't it? Except, and now I can say within this, it should be only within this file. See, exactly, that would have been bad. So I don't want to make those changes, but I want to make these changes. So can I just hit that button? Ah, I can. Nice. All right, and then this, no, this one. Camera dot camera entity requested could just be camera dot entity requested. And then remove that and make sure it's only within that file. Cool. And then camera position. So camera dot camera position can be just camera dot position. And then within this file, we can do that. So not that or that, but here I can. All right, and then server, same thing. Camera dot camera server is camera dot server. And then within this file, we can allow that change to happen. Yes. All right. And then new camera position. Camera dot new position. Done. Make sure I didn't break anything. What's going on? I think it got hosed. Okay, I'll have to close Chrome. And open it again. Chrome got really confused, I guess. Now Chrome is not opening. Why would Chrome not open? Okay, there it opened. Why did it take so long for Chrome to reopen? I don't know. Chrome being Chrome, I guess. So nothing's broken here, right? Avatar stuff still works. Yep. Okay, so that's one. This one's okay. How about entities? Oh yeah, we wanted to make a different word for that one. Entities. How about entities dot list? Why is it showing that icon there? I wonder if I need to reload this one. Reload. Just to be safe. Yeah, do your configuration, please. Okay, thank you. And now, yeah, that icon's gone now. Okay, so entities.entities. Let's make it entities.list. And then within this file, it's just list. So not any of these. Whoop. Okay, and this one is entities dot reflected entities action. We'll say entities dot reflected action. There. Do you build the server on some existing code or from the ground up for myself? Mostly from the ground up. There were a few libraries that I used. Let me list them for you. I used zlib and LibreSSL. And I think that's it. I think everything else I wrote myself. Oh, the password strength checker. This one with a weird name. I did not write that one either. But yeah, I think everything else I wrote. Oh, well, the testing is using Google Test. I didn't write that. And I didn't write Lua. So there you go. Those 4 things. I didn't write. I reused Lua, Google Test, LibreSSL, and zlib. I guess it's 5. The password strength checker. Everything else I wrote from scratch. Mostly here on Twitch. Some of the stuff in system abstractions specifically, I wrote before I streamed. This is an OS abstraction layer, so it like abstracts away the differences between WinSock and BSD sockets and a couple other things. But yeah, most of the stuff was from scratch here on stream. All right. Back to entities reducer. I think I'm gonna leave that selected entity and move on. This one, this is obviously, I can rename this one. And that, I should just be safe. So golem channels should just be golem channels. Replace, and then this should only be in this one file. Aha, there's another example where a local variable I don't want changed. There we go. Golem commands is just golem.commands. And then this should only be in the reducer, not the panel, the reducer. There we go. All right. Cleaning up the names. That's all good. Mail. Okay, this one should just be blacklist. Mail blacklist. So that should only appear in the reducer. Cool. All right. Search replaces your friend. Players. I think I'll call it list. So players.players should just be players list. Only in 2 places. Okay. Okay, I'm not even going to use the search in files here. I guess I can. I can just... Oh, I didn't want to do that. Crap. I need to, which one got hit? One of these got hit. Was it this one? Okay, I can manually go back. I can look for players.list. I can just look for list. Is this the right place? Yeah. I guess I'll just undo all changes to that. Oh, Twiggly Bits. With the raid with 4 people. Hi, Twiggly Bits. How was your stream? What were you working on today? Hey there, Spherus. How are you? And I forgot to say hi to Real Boy. Hi. I just screwed up something when I was refactoring, and I'm going to... You know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to stage the parts that are okay. And unstage the ones that aren't. Actually, I could probably... Yeah, these are probably all okay, right? Stage that hunk. Here's where we got into trouble. So I don't want that hunk. I do want that one. I'm being very careful right now. Did it work? It worked! Hi, Twiggly Bits. Your raid worked. How was your stream? What were you working on today? Or what were you playing, I guess I should say. What playing or working on? Hi! Thank you for the follow, Twiggly Bits. And thank you also for the raid, too. Let's see. I want that one, right? I screwed up this a search replace, and I can't just undo, so... Yeah, that we want. Yes. I have a feeling I'm gonna screw this up. Even worse. How many more diffs do we have? Okay, that I want to undo. This one I want. Yes. This one I want. So it's just this one then. Okay. So undo that part and then unstage. Back to normal. Okay, now what was I doing? I was replacing players with list, right? But being very careful not to... So I want to hit the X button this time. For everything but players reducer. So... There. Working on game icons? Oh, okay. Let me give you a follow there. I'll have to check out your stream next time. Aw, thank you, Spherus. You're very kind. So if you haven't seen my stream before, I have like a 2-minute intro. But basically, I'm working on this game that you can find here. Let's see if it's working now. I might have screwed it up. Okay, it's in the middle of being screwed up, but I can go to the production environment to show you what the game looks like right now. And this is from the game administrator's point of view. So if you actually log in yourself, you won't be able to see through walls and stuff, and your view distance is more restricted. But it's based off of, not based off of really. It's inspired by games like Ultima that I played when I was a kid, and just to make it something that I could actually do. The graphics are not very sophisticated. They're pretty retro basic, and it's 2D tile. You control a character by moving up, down, left, and right, kind of a deal. And there are friendly NPCs and monsters, and the friendly NPCs you can talk to, so there's in-game dialogue, and there's going to be a lot of that, and that's how a lot of the story in the game will unfold, is through talking to NPCs. And there'll be, like, you can pick up items, you can use items, and there'll be a lot of exploration. So it's all a custom game engine, so it's still kind of rough. There are lots of rough edges and missing features. But like this is a little test area of this level where you go deeper into the cavern. There's some of these monsters, and then you go even deeper, and then there's these two bad boys. And these will one-shot you, so don't go way back here. But this gives you a taste of what it might look like. It's the content in the game right now is just to test the engine. I don't have any of the real story yet. So that's what I'm working on today. It's refactoring part of the game. So the game, being online, mostly runs on the server in C++ and Lua. In order for you to play it, though, the part of the game that I call the front end is loaded in your web browser, and it talks to the game server through WebSockets. And it is written in mostly JavaScript, And here I'm using libraries like Phaser to draw the graphics and React to make the web page itself and Redux to handle the state. So I'm guilty of making code that doesn't scale well. So at the beginning of today, one of my Redux reducers actually kind of like looked like the... Let me look at another big one here. Actually, the admin was the biggest one. But look, okay, this session one. See how large the state is? The fact that it's 500 plus lines long? This is like unreadable and unmaintainable. It's just too huge. So I took one of those called admin, and I broke it up into this many pieces, so every individual piece is somewhat manageable. That's probably the biggest one there. You know, under 200 lines is awesome. These are all pretty good. They're all under 200 lines. So each of these files is one sliver of the state of this front-end application. So for example, this Golem reducer is just holding the state that's in this panel called the Golem, which is my chat integration, a Twitch chat integration. And entities reducer, this piece is the slice that holds this part of the user interface. So it's just making this slices small enough so they can be individually understood and maintained. And we kind of have an idea of where everything is stored by name, so that if I go to something like the character panel here, and we're looking at what this panel called the character panel, which is this one, where does it pull its state from? We see that it's pulling a lot of its state from the camera, session, world, tile sets. So it's kind of broken up by, you know, it's picking and choosing what it wants. Redux is founded on the principle that all the state is in one global place, and as it scales up, you break it up into various pieces, and you end up with like a tree structure. So state is the root of the tree, so to speak, and every intermediate level is a combination of reducers. So admin is a combination of many reducers, and then the camera is a subset of admin, and then avatar is a one variable. So this is always the root on the left, on the right is always the variable, and then in the middle are what are called reducers. And I guess you could say that the rightmost reducer is the last reducer, and that's a variable in that reducer, and all the other ones are combinations. So if I show you the index for admin, it's using combined reducers. But if I look at camera reducer, it is just a function, right? A reducer in Redux is a function that takes a previous state, which starts out at the initial state, and an action, and returns the new state based on what the action is. So, for example, if the action is create camera components, then we want the state to become the previous state plus this flag being set to true. And I like to break out the initial state as a separate thing so we can see that this is the shape of the state, so to speak, and what the initial settings are. And this object spread syntax basically says to take the previous state, all of these things in it, and kind of do a shallow copy to make a new object where we have the old state with this changed in it. So if the old state had a false, now it's true, but everything else is left alone. So another example would be if the camera position is being reflected back to us, we're gonna take the position and store it two copies, one in position and new position, but then leave everything else alone in the state. So like the entity, components created, all those stay the same. So the life cycle of the application is really one whole sequence of actions and how the state changes over time. I don't want to show the debug console and the production, but I can show it here if this doesn't crash. Okay, it's going to crash. I'll have to fix this first, but what I want to show is there's a Redux panel here. Actually, I guess I can show this now, even though the app crashed. These are the actions that happened, and if we can go all the way to the top, the initial state. This is all of the different reducers we had, and see how now we have this extra level for under admin. So camera here, so this will match exactly what is in this initial state, right? That should match, and then as each action is performed, stuff changes. So at some point we will have created a camera. Let's find it. Right, request right there. So now entity requested is true, and server has also been filled in. And then at some point we get the camera back. So I go all the way down to the bottom, for example. Now, not only did we're done requesting the entity, we have a camera entity and we have a client number. So you can see that the state evolves one action at a time, and that's how it works. Hopefully I explained that well enough. I need to fix this bug now. Action list map. List is undefined, so I screwed something up in the entities reducer, obviously. Line 79. Let's see. Oh, wait. It's not going to be called list in the action, is it? It's going to be called action entities. Okay, so that's a problem with the way I did search replace here. I guess I can manually fix it because all these blue bars show me where things changed. So I can just, yeah, or I could just say within this file, action list becomes action entities. That'd be the easiest way to fix it, right? It was only one place? Okay. I misspelled entities here. Alright, maybe that fixed it. Hey, look, it fixed it. So now I can show the debug. Let's dock it to the right. And for example, let me show you. Okay, my chat is hiding that. If I hold it this way though, under camera, there's this position. So as I move the camera around, you'll see that the X and Y coordinates change. So this is where we store the camera's position within our aggregate application state. Pretty cool, huh? And you should see in here, even there's a lot of junk like related to things moving around in the game world, but mixed in there, if I do a filter here on camera, you'll see every time I move, there's a new camera change. And if I show you what's in the action, it will show the new position. And if I do a diff for reflect, it'll tell you that it moved to the X moved to -2 there. And there, the Y moved to 6, and there the Y moved to 7. And it'll even show you the before and after. The built-in tools in Chrome, along with the Redux tools extensions, are really, really handy for debugging this kind of thing. So yeah. So that's working. I'm in the midst of changing the names of things to. That's part of refactoring is finding where you have poorly chosen names and then improving them. So let me find another example. I think I was on players, right? Right, so players already has this word in it. So where we'll, like for example, if I just search for that and I show any one of these, it says admin players search criteria, right? So that's redundant. So I'm going to fix that by replacing players search criteria to just search criteria. And make sure that it's not going to screw up any names of local variables. This one, there's few enough matches that I can verify that we're good. Okay, this one I don't want. So let's X that one out. And yeah, keep all of these. I don't want that one, but I want that one. All right. And then once we're ready, you hit that button and it says, "Are you sure?" I'm like, "Sure. Yeah, we're sure." This player and selected player is probably okay because if it just selected, it would be like selected what? Okay, so a lot of these, the script is redundant, right? And scripts should just be list, so it's just scripts.list. I'm gonna get to that in a second, but I really need to take a break. I'll be back in like a minute or two, okay? So, be right back. I'm back. Hey there, Death by Code. How are you doing? I'm refactoring some Redux stuff in the front end to my game today. So I had one monster reducer called the admin reducer. Now it's broken up into all these pieces. And I'm just going through all the names. There's some redundancy in the names now because there's the word script, even though we're in already a reducer called script. So we can remove these names here. Hey there, Void Venom. You probably got here by you were watching Twiggly Bits or someone else who rated me. So hi. You're welcome to stay, or if you don't like my stream, that's fine too. If this is the kind of stream that you like, but it's maybe you don't like me in particular, there are a bunch of other people I would recommend you check out. So if you look at anyone on livecoders.dev, for example, let's see who else is streaming right now. We have Lana Lux, and James, and Freeman, and Tudor. So all of us in the livecoders.dev are demonstrating how to write various things in on various languages on the computer. And today I happen to be doing JavaScript. What in the JS? Yeah, this is a Redux reducer. And so anyone in livecoders.dev will be demonstrating live coding for various different things. I think, like, for example, Lana Lux is doing game dev in doing character modeling and some Unity coding. Spherus was here also before. Spherus is a great streamer who you should check out, who is doing coding and game development in Unity. And so just want to let you know, if you're not sure why you're here, you probably came in with a raid. And if you don't like me, there's plenty of other streams out on Twitch. And I would recommend anyone in the Live Coders dev team. And Spherus as well, of course. Hey there, legend. What in the JS? Indeed, yeah. So this is what's called a reducer in Redux. It is a state management system for an application that runs in the web browser. What's been your favorite area of development of the project so far? Even though it was really tough, I really liked doing this server cluster, because I really like the fact that my game is running on 3 servers simultaneously, and then they're lockstep together, so that if I were to kill the leader server, the game would still continue. There'd just be a slight lag while we have a leadership change. I really like that works really well. So, and I enjoyed working on that, even though it was difficult to do. So anyway, this is managing the state of this application that's running in the web browser, and I've broken it into many small pieces. So this particular piece is maintaining the state for this scripts list and editor. So if I can edit a script in the game, or I can change the name here, interacting with all these things, the state for that is held here. And this is the shape of it and the initial conditions. And then these are what are called actions. And they're dispatched by anything in the application can dispatch any of these actions to change the state. So clearing script errors is this button here. When I hit that button, it's going to make the script errors an empty list again. And let's say an error is reported, then we're adding to the script errors here, right? A new error, which has the actual text, and then there's the context and the key, gets added in addition to the previous script errors, forms the new script errors, which forms the new state. And that's what will let us print something out here. I am working to remove some of the redundancy here. So for example, this will be scripts.scripts script editor submit action. We can just reduce that to scripts.editor submit action, right? I'm gonna go ahead and hit that to replace that, and then within this file, replace it as well. And then the same thing for this one. So that's scripts.script editor title. So this should just be editor title, right? Replace that. I'm doing a goofy way of search replace where I do it in 2 steps, because I want to be careful that I don't rename any local variables with the same names by accident. So script, it needs to be script.script errors. Oh, really? Oh, scripts. That's why. So change it where it's used in the React part, and then only within this file will we do that. So not the panel, only here. Okay, and then this is scripts dot script profiling active to scripts dot profiling active, and then this only in this reducer. All right, 3 more. Here's the tricky one. Scripts dot scripts, right? I think I'm gonna call it scripts dot list. So for example, here, I really don't like that says scripts dot scripts, right? Scripts dot list sounds better to me because it reminds me it's the list of scripts. That's why I'm making this change. And then scripts turns into lists, but only within this scripts reducer. So I want to X out everything but scripts reducer. Yes. All right. Search criteria. So scripts dot that should be just scripts dot search criteria. Only in the reducer. And then I'll leave that one alone. World. Actually, that looks already okay to me. So these names all look good. I'll just check this in. I think we're good. Camera dot all these things. I think we're good. Ah, we have a bug. So in scripts reducer 79, what did I do? Oh, it's another case where it's the name of the thing in the action. It's also called scripts. Is there an action dot list somewhere else? No. So just what that was the only thing. Okay. So I should just run through all of the UI here to make sure I didn't break anything. Go and then go back and then remove that old zone. I haven't tried this one. Update shifts me over. Okay. And then this should still work. It used to select the top one by default, but now it doesn't do it. I broke that somehow. George is on the move. I clicked him while he was moving. Fetch globals work. Yeah. And I can still paint. Let's make sure I can still paint. Let's add some grass up here. And look at that. Sorry, colorblind people. Be easier if I picked something that looked different. There we go. So I can actually paint the world that is not broken. Good. Dialogue's still working. Could still look at the dialogue choices for various things here. Okay. I need to handle like when there's overflow correctly here. I need to get better at my CSS. What else do I need to... Oh, we've got something broken. Players.filter is broken in players panel. 65. What happened here? This players is broken. So does that mean players is not passed in as a prop? Huh. So that means the players reducer. No, that's correct. Up arrow. Are you referring to what Raleigh Monkey said? Everyone gets a custom little thing above theirs, but you get a speech bubble. Oh, yeah, that, let me explain that, what that is. It's called Stream Parrot. It's being developed by CM Griffin, who I recommend you check out if you haven't seen his stream and you're interested in web development. He made this overlay above my head that shows a copy of chat, but there are 3 different styles of chat for this theme that I've selected. So moderators show up in green, and there's a little title saying like "in a booming voice," Rally Monkey exclaims that. VIPs show up in blue, and there's a slightly different blurb, and then everyone else shows up in a comic. What is it? Golden Age comics style speech bubble. So it's just a style that I have picked for the overlay. Yeah. So like that stream parrot overlay is open for it's like in a beta testing period right now, so you could try it out if you're a streamer. And there are a few different style settings, and this is Golden Age comics. There's also the more traditional, like what's built into Twitch and all that stuff. I'm not using all the features in there, and if Chris is watching, I'm sorry, Chris, but I still need to set up the custom emotes. He has a feature in there where we can select a word and say show a special custom emote whenever someone uses that word. So I could take the word beast or something and replace it with a picture of my cat if I wanted. But I haven't set that stuff up yet. I suppose one thing I can do to debug this is to look at the React state and see if, or the Redux state and see if what happened to the players list. Admin players. Oh yeah, it's not there at all. Huh. Was it there at the beginning? I guess we'll refresh and see if it's there from the beginning. Admin players. Okay, it's not even there. So okay, let's pause. Somehow the list got removed. So it's there. At what point did it get removed? Let's see. At what? Oh, reflect players. So reflect players removed the list. So that's what it is. I need to look for reflect players. Reflect players. Beast equals cat. Yeah, exactly. Oh, it's this one, right? It's up action players. Yep. So is there another I should just look for action list. No, okay, that was the only one then. All right. So now it'll work. Nice. Okay. I'm glad I'm testing this stuff. That one we know is already broken anyway. This one should just work. Continue to work, yes. The ticket system works. I changed a few things with the ticket system last night. I don't know if you noticed, but there used to be a column called status, and the only thing it was used for is to display if something was locked or not. I just moved it over to the left and got rid of the title for it. And I might want to remove the spacing in there. Let me look at the CSS for that. Like, I could remove the right padding to that thing, right? How do I see that under computed? So it's got 10 pixels of padding on the right that I don't need. If I style this correctly, I could remove that, right? I would probably need to set the... What does this say? Class is empty. I don't know why the class is empty. I guess I could say a ticket's body row first column padding to the right is 0, right? Can I just do that real quick? That would be under tickets.css. Yeah, tickets body row first child, not 6th child. It's nth child, or I guess I can just do first child, right? Do I need parentheses? I don't remember. Let's see if I can get away with not having them. So padding right is 0. Yeah, so I got removed the padding there. I like the fact that when I change the CSS, that it has an instantaneous effect. See that? All I had to do is hit save and then wait a few moments and it's updated. So now I got rid of the padding on the right of it. I could even remove the padding on the left, or maybe just keep it the way it is. while I'm here, I should probably look into fixing these console errors. It's saying that I have a th cannot appear as a child of a t head. So ticket.js 266. 266. Oh, shouldn't I have a... how does this work? I should have a row, shouldn't I? I forget how to do this. Is it... Oh, it's a tr. I'm missing the tr. That's what I'm missing. There we go. Fixed it. Yeah. Thank you, Toulouse. You are correct. So hopefully now my errors go away in the console. So that was under tickets, right? Yeah, okay, no errors. No errors is good. Flip through all of these. Make sure I don't have any console errors. Looks good. All right. I think I should commit this change. Let's commit the little things that I did here in tickets. So this one is remove padding next to lock icons in ticket list. This one was fixing a console error. So fix error in HTML where th was directly under a t head. Okay, and the rest of these were just we're shortening names, like camera pause is just camera pause. So we're gonna say reduce the redundancy in the names of Redux state variables. Commit that. All right. Cool. So I made a lot of progress with this admin reducer, I feel like. Where is it again? Here it is. So now I can collapse that and look at these other reducers. Right? It's a chat reducer. I think this is decent sized already. Configuration reducer, pretty good. Dialog reducer, okay. It's kind of thick though. This dialog reducer is for this thing right here. There is a lot going on in the dialog editor. So this is all of that state. Modal. This is for pop-up boxes, like, for example, oh, not that one. If I were to like say I want to delete something, it'll pop up saying, "Are you sure?" That's a modal. I think that size is okay. Session. Okay, this is a monster, right? I should probably work on this one next. What about stage? Stage is actually good. So actually the session reducer is the only thing I really need to work on, right? What's a reducer used for? It holds... It's for two reasons. So let me pick a small one, for example, that makes sense. How about admin camera reducer? So the camera location here, X is 6 and Y is 5, for example. Where that's actually stored in my front-end application, if I'm using Redux, is in what's called the Redux store. So if I, let's pop this out, and I'll hit pause on it. So if I go to this state, under admin camera position, that X4 Y5 should match this X4 and Y5. And as I, if I move the camera a little bit, now it will have changed if I have to start recording again and then pause. Now it's at 2.5. So what a reducer does, one thing is it defines where these variables are. So that's one of the first things I do is here's this initial state and this position, which is just an XY and a depth. And that's what we set to be the initial state, right? That's one thing. The second thing is it provides a function that it doesn't, I keep thinking it changes the state, but what it's really doing is taking the previous state and then an action and then reducing that to the new state. So I think that's why it's called a reducer. It's taking a state and an action and reducing that to a next or new state. So like when the camera position changes, we get this action called reflect camera position. So what it does is it returns the new state, which is a copy, a shallow copy of the previous state. And then on top of that, change this position to whatever was in the action. So if I find a, let's have it start recording and do reflect camera. And if I actually now move the camera, right, move it 1, we have this thing. And then the difference will be that it changed the x coordinate from a 2 to a 1. Does that make sense? I have new position and position because new position is if I type like 899 there, that will have changed the new position but not the current position, like that. Yeah. So this triple dot is called the object spread syntax. JS object spread syntax operator. Do they have a good example here? These are all hard to read. I want a good example. Like one that we can see in one page. You know, I hate it when I can't find a good example. I guess I'll just make one. So, for example, if you have something like this, A is 1, B is 4, and C is 7, right? Let's say you have an object like that. So if you do this, what do you get? You get the same thing as if you had done this, right? A is 1, B is 4, C is 7, right? But what if you do this, though? What if you do X and then you say C is 8? Well, now you get that. Basically, it says take everything from X and give me a shallow copy, like basically copy member-wise, and then when you're done, apply that. So it would be the same thing as if you did this. In JavaScript, if you do something like that, it just takes the last one, and this one it just overwrites this one. So it would be as if you did that. So another thing you can do is you can add a new one, and then you end up with C is 7, and then you have a new one called D. So it's hard to see the difference between an add and that's an add and versus a change. This would be a change. The only way you know that that is a change and that is an add is you have to know what the X actually had and see that, oh, that key was already in X, and so we're changing. And this key was not in X, so we're adding. And then remember the whole time, we're not really changing, we're constructing a new object having a copy of another object with some things changed in it. Okay, so that's how you do a change, and that's how you do an add. How do you do a remove? Well, you really can't with object spread. I like to do Lodash and with omit. So this is how you'd remove C. That gives you the copy of X without the C at all. So yeah, so this spread object syntax is used all over the place in Redux because we're basically saying I want whatever was in the previous state, unchanged, except for that, and I'm either adding or changing. And with Redux, it's you'll lose your sanity if you're adding stuff all the time. It's best to just set the initial state to have like placeholders for everything, and then all of these are always changes. So these are changes to things that are already in the initial, that were in the initial state to begin with. If you understood correctly, kind of implicit. So yeah, it's really just going from left to right, saying, okay, take everything from X and copy it, and then put that into, and that might be something new, or it might be just something changed. Yeah. So of course, if it doesn't make any sense to the way I described it, you can always just look up object spread syntax or spread syntax in JavaScript, and they'll explain it all sorts of different ways. Maybe probably better than the way I'm explaining it. So it works not only in objects but also in arrays. So that's where they're talking about here. If you put numbers has an array of 3 things in it, this is just replacing ... numbers with a copy of the numbers 1, 2, and 3, so that you get 6 as an output. You understood me perfectly? Okay, cool. One disadvantage I have as a streamer is I can't see the facial expressions and reactions of listeners and viewers. So I don't know if I'm explaining it well or not. I guess one advantage is that if you wanted to throw a tomato at me, you really can't. So if I do a really poor job, at least I don't get rotten vegetables thrown at me. So anyway, at the beginning of the day, all of these separate pieces of state were all crammed into one thing called admin. And now they're nice and separated so that each individual file here is working on a manageably small set of variables, right? No more than like 10. And I need to do the same thing with this session reducer because this thing has a lot. Okay, this doesn't really count because that's one big thing. That's just a tile set though. Right, so this is a little bit unmanageable, right? There are too many different variables. So I'll do the same thing I did with admin, where we're going to put these into different categories, and then those categories become pieces of the reducer. Or are you passing on free vegetables? Because they're rotten, playing with scissors. I don't want rotten vegetables. If you want to throw perfectly good vegetables at me, I guess I'm missing out, but yeah. You'll slam the keyboard angrily. Yeah, but that's your keyboard, not mine. How are you doing playing with scissors? I'm only going to be streaming for another half hour, 40 minutes, by the way. I have to leave early today. So yeah, hopefully I'll get through with this and I'll feel better that my reducers are simplified. So this category would be, I guess we'll say panel. Auth secret, where does that go? You're on a vacation on a really, really slow internet. Do I have quality options today? Anybody know? If I don't, then I feel bad. I do have quality options. Oh, that's nice. At least we have that. You're probably watching me on 160p or audio only. But isn't all that copying not really optimal for performance? It turns out that this object spread is actually pretty efficient because we're not changing this variable or this object. We're just returning something new. And so this is what's done here is what's called a shallow copy. And that's actually pretty efficient. It doesn't do what's called a deep copy, which would be inefficient if there's a lot of stuff in there nested. So I would say yes and no. It's a good compromise. It's a way of especially if I split up my state enough, then the reducers that let's say we change something in the camera. Let's say we change the camera position, right? This action that changes the camera position is called reflect camera position. Every other reducer it's going to go into, it's not going to be a case, and so it's going to go to the default. And look what the default does. It doesn't do the spread object syntax at all. It doesn't actually do anything other than return the previous state. So that's very, very efficient. So even though our state is pretty complicated, how come it's not showing anything right now? Did I break it? I might have broken it. Oh, because I need to hit go. No. I broke it. Let's open it again. Yeah, so even though there's a lot of stuff in this state, if you've broken it up into small enough pieces, if the position is the only thing that changes, all these other reducers basically are very, very efficiently handling the action to change the camera position because they don't care about that action. Where it could be inefficient is if I had everything in one monster reducer, and then let's say admin had all of these pieces. Like at the beginning of today, all of these pieces were in the admin reducer, right? So even if the only thing you changed was the camera position, it would have still like gone through all of these things and spread everything else out. So, hey there, Frosty. Having troubles waking up. I'm sorry. Wake up, Frosty. Wake up. Wake up. Wake up. Wake up. Wake up. Wake up. Are you awake now? 2 megabit download is the full stream, yeah. So 160p should be what? Only maybe 100 kilobit? Anyway. I'm breaking up the session reducer now. So yeah, another example would be, let's say the only thing I changed in the session state was I get a change to my character's inventory, right? It's still going to have to shallow copy all of these other things. So it's less efficient. It's more efficient if I break this up, and then only the reducer that actually has the inventory in it would have to change its state. Better than a 28.8 kilobit phone modem. It should be. You wouldn't be able to watch anything. You'd only be able to listen if you were on that low of a bit rate. Oh, right. I was looking at what the heck auth secret is. I don't even remember. What is auth secret? I don't know what auth secret is. Pastor Raimu, what does auth secret mean? Oh, right. It's when you're going to activate an authenticator. It's the secret key to the authenticator entry. That's what it is. I should probably write that down now. Where is that? Let's write it down. So, actually, if I put it under authenticator, then I'll know what it is. So connected is if we're connected to the game. So let's put that under login. Dialog choices. That's if we're in a dialogue, right? Used to be blazing fast, 56K. Yeah, that's true. Like in the 1980s, right? Dialogue. Actually, maybe this is all input. And this is maybe character. And this is maybe profile. Moved cooldown should go with character. Name or address is profile. That's correct. Avatar tiles. Profile, I think. Persist login. Login. Player whisper. I don't know what that is. It doesn't exist anywhere else. That means I can delete it. Haha. Policy version. That's part of login. Previous panel is part of panel. Twitch isn't highlighting people when you at them. That's because it needs more bits to highlight. Oh, you had dark mode on. Okay. Yeah, that probably screwed up your CSS, right? Profile. This is all profile stuff. Reset password token is part of login. Selected ticket. That's part of the tickets system. And Twitch name is part of profile. There we go. When people at you. Oh, I see. So, yeah, the highlighting is just custom colors, so the dark mode would probably screw it up, right? Oh, when people at you. Got it. Okay, so I think these are good enough size pieces. I might want to split that up more. We'll see how it goes. So I'm going to do the same kind of thing I did before. We'll make a new folder called session. And we'll move session reducer in there and rename it to, we'll rename it to index. And then this will have to be 2 levels up now. And then the outer index should say import session from session. And that should still work as is. Maybe not. That will have. Well, that should have still worked. Why would that not work? Hold on. What is the Redux? Oh. Oh, okay. It's the self-signed certificate problem. It must have expired. I have to actually say proceed to localhost. And now it should work, right? Yeah. Okay. So it was completely unrelated to the change I was making. Okay. So everything is still working. So then in here, we're going to make it called legacy, right? So that's const legacy equals that. And then we're going to use this combine reducer. So that becomes the export. Legacy. And then I have to go through all of the places where we have session and put legacy in front. So there's going to get state session dot becomes get state session dot legacy dot. 38 places. That's all the middlewares. Neon text looks amazing. Change your mind? I don't want to change your mind. Neon text sounds amazing. Since when do you need certificates for localhost? Because I'm using HTTPS. I wish it would show it. It's HTTPS, so it's using TLS. I use TLS for all connections, even localhost. So I have to use a self-signed certificate to make it work. And self-signed certificates, browsers don't like to use them. Don't like to accept them unless you actually add them to your certificate store, and I don't want to do that either. So I just assume I just as well say go ahead and proceed there, even though it's not safe, because the only thing you're going to is localhost anyway. It's my own fault if something goes wrong, right? Right. So set up. I'm being texted again. Oh. Mrs. Raimu says that I don't have to end at 1 o'clock. Hold on, I gotta text her back. I hate my phone sometimes. All right. State dot session becomes state dot session dot legacy, right? Yeah, it looks good. So that should repair the app so that it compiles now. Oh, combine reducers is not declared. Actually, while I'm at it, let me put a blank line there. Okay, cool. Okay, so now the stage is set, so to speak. Now I can split out these things into the different sub reducers. Why do you want to connect your localhost via TLS again? I just want to use TLS for my game and not have to worry about there being two different modes, TLS and non-TLS. So I just decided I'll always connect to my game service through TLS. So if I happen to be using the test environment on my local machine, it's also TLS. And so I'm like, I'll just use a self-signed certificate. That way it's easy. I don't have to worry about having the server either running with security or not. And like just always security, even if it's local. So the cost is that I have to tell the browser it's okay to use that certificate. The benefit is that in all the server configuration and in the code, I don't need to have conditional logic to say, do we allow unsecure connections or not? So right now in the server, it has to be a secure connection. There's always a certificate, and so it's simpler in the logic. I hope that makes sense. If it doesn't, maybe It wouldn't be the first time that I've overthought a problem, overdesigned something. Oh, what am I doing here? Panel reducer. So panel reducer is not concerned with these shapes. It's only those two variables. So we're deleting everything else. This goes back to export default, and we get rid of this table. And then I'm going to start that off clean. And then here we're going to import. How did I do this in the admin one? Oh, this one's going to go away anyway. Okay. Makes sense. I might end a little bit early anyway, since I started a little early. So we'll see. Just used to having environment variable telling the program whether to check for secure connections or not, depending on the test or production environment. Yeah, so I just decided to skip that, make it simpler in one way. With the cost of that, I have to occasionally tell my browser, yeah, it's okay to go there. Import panel from panel reducer. There we go. And then there it was, panel. Okay, so panel reducer has active panel and previous panel. So that's this action. And not all of it though, because looks like we still need to clear that out. So what I'm going to do is make a copy of this case, remove OTPs there, and then here remove everything but OTPs. And then previous panel. Okay, that's it. So that reducer is insanely easy. And I just need to remove active panel. There we go. Make sure that nothing broke. So I can... oh, maybe I broke something. Oh, all right. I forgot the other step. I have to replace legacy.active panel with panel.active panel. Yes. That's the only thing I need to do, right? Right, so now I can switch panels again. Okay. And next. Authenticator. Authenticator reducer. Alrighty. That's interesting. Control Shift page up and page down moves it in the Open Editors thing in the top left. I learned something today. Export default. This might not be the best way of doing this, but okay, it's fast enough. All right, and then auth secret. Actually, this auth second factor, we should include that too, right? No, that's part of the profile. That's part of the profile. So this is authenticator setup, really. Yeah, reflect the secret and the backup OTPs. Anything else? No? Login complete also clears the backup OTPs. And set active panel does that too. Okay. And these are out of order. Oh, and I just remembered something I wanted to do before. We want session end to return everything to the default state, right? I guess I can... I'll get back to that. I'll try not to forget, though. Yeah. And if you don't have a cert, you can make one. It's called a self-sign cert, and then it'll still complain. But at least you can tell it to proceed. Yeah, you have a VIP. Green. You are VIP. You've been a VIP for a while. Oh, user who was formerly known as Teston. Oh yeah, the stream overlay, the stream parrot made by CM Griffin, um, distinguishes whether you are a moderator or a VIP or a normal viewer, or what we sometimes call pleb, but I don't like to say that. Oh, you know what I've been forgetting to. Okay, I forgot something in my stream setup today. I haven't been accounting any time that we're rolling. I forgot to say hi to Such Grind. Welcome to the stream, by the way. This reducer is nice. It fits into one screen. And we're done with this, right? I just need to import it. Import authenticator from authenticator reducer. Let's put that one first. And then put that. Oh, thank you for the follow, Such Grind. And this one, you can't set up an authenticator as the admin, so I actually need to try this in incognito mode. Log in. Hunter2 is my awesome password. Let's try the authenticator thing. Oh, it's broken. Okay, so... Oh, I forgot that step again. I don't know why I forget this step always. This... legacy dot needs to change to authenticator. Dot that. And then the same thing with backup OTPs. Now we try again. Enable the authenticator, and I can regenerate a token if I want. I can try to validate it, although it's not going to work. I can hit cancel. Looks good. Oh, you like Mr. Sir CM Griffin? Yeah. When legacy becomes production. We're getting rid of legacy right now. You have to juggle streams by pausing and unpausing? Can you just go to audio only? Yeah, that's what I was going to say, Nui. Technically, Nui said it first because I'm on a delay. Actually, it's the other way around. I said it, but you guys didn't see me say it because of the stream delay. Audio only is boring? Exactly, especially when I do this. You wouldn't have seen that if it was audio only. Big. Or I could also do this. No, the other key. I can get really big. Or back to the normal size. Use multi-stream. Yeah, will that reduce his bandwidth or bitrate though? Yeah, you could look at the thumbnail every 10 seconds or minutes or whatever. All right. So now I just have to make it worthwhile to you playing with scissors. I have to do like things that are in the video only and not in the audio, so that you'll be like, now I have to watch. Okay, we're done with authenticator. What's next? Login. Copy, paste, login reducer. Remove all this stuff. Yeah, all this goes. This one has 5 variables in it. This is export default function with no cases in it. I can almost do it as fast as I can say it. Connect it. Yeah, I think multi-stream just brings them all into the same page. What you need is something that transcodes them all into one, multiple streams transcoded and stitched to the same one, right? Do I have connected with Twitch in here? I do. So I can pull... Oh, but Twitch name is there. What did I decide I wanted to put Twitch name in? Twitch name. Profile. Actually, let's move that to login. I think it actually goes better. It goes better there. Yeah. So that goes there. Yep. Now, if it were to go to audio only on the tabs you weren't watching, that would be useful, wouldn't it? It would reduce the bandwidth to every stream you weren't physically watching. Okay, I need connected again. Get back to where I was. Right, these two I want completely out of here and put them in here like so. Next, let's see if connected is used anymore. Disconnected, all right. Reflect disconnected. Especially with Firefox cyclic control tabbing, yeah. Wouldn't that be cool though? Have it just audio only if you're not looking at the tab? Implement eye tracker, use audio only. Actually, not only audio only, but you could, there's a special kind of video encoding that uses eye tracking to reduce the number of bits in the video, parts of the video that you're not looking at. That was actually something that Qualcomm was working on when I was still working there. I forget what they called it, but it was like it was a cool idea that if you had eye tracking, you could reduce your video stream bitrate just by sending more bits for the area you're actually looking at, and then reducing the encoding bits for the areas you're not looking at. Of course, you need to feed that back into the encoder, so it'd be pretty expensive server side, but it would save the client a lot of bandwidth if you had it. Connected with Twitch. Do we have that? No. Okay, we're done with that. Persist login. Toggle persist login. There we go. QRST. Yeah, it would look fuzzy. It would look kind of weird if, unless it was tuned really well. And if someone was watching over your shoulder and they're looking at a different area, it would look really fuzzy for them. That was the challenge, actually, was the latency. It would only really work if you could get it low enough latency. Like, I don't think they were going to use it for streaming. I think they were using it more for VR. That in the VR headset, they could allocate more bits to the field you're actually looking in the scene, and not the peripheries. Because you're not going to see the peripheries really well anyway. And even then, you know, VR has latency issues inherently. That's what makes some people sick when they are using VR headset. Policy version goes with login status. Yes. Right there. Okay. And then reset password token. 2 places. Clear password reset token goes there, and then show modal reset password. Okay. I think I'm done. Oh, Twitch name. Done with that. Okay, so I can remove these now. And I need to import login from login reducer, and then logic? No, login. And then the part I keep forgetting to do, which is to go search replace legacy dot connected with login dot connected. What happened here? Does that mean it's not used anywhere? That's possible, actually. It's possible we never even use that flag. Okay. So maybe I don't even need this connected flag. Huh. I don't even need the action reflect connected? Maybe it's used elsewhere. No. Nothing uses it right now. Interesting. Wait a minute. Oh, because we do on-connected anyway. Yeah, okay. So this is sort of vestigial then. We don't even need this action reflect connected. What if I just drop it then? I can add it back if we need it. So we don't need this else at all. And I don't need this because this connected flag, that we don't need it. Connected. Cool. Got rid of a flag we never needed. When your internet's slow, you want all you can get, yeah. Oh, have a good stream, Frosty. Actually, remind me, what do you stream, Frosty? Is it your own stuff? Or are you mostly streaming the renditions of Awakening stuff? Anyone tried playing streaming games? Google Stadia, PlayStation Now, wondering if latency is generally intolerable. I think it would be probably, unless you're playing a game where it's not latency sensitive. Okay, so I need to make sure I catch this one. Okay, I already got that one. So yeah, so this one I want legacy dot persist login to login persist login. That should probably just be called persist, right? Let's just call it persist. Let's do it. And then here I'll change it to persist in the reducer. All right, and then policy legacy.policy version. Oh, guess who's back on the tower? Oh, wait a minute. Oh, was he up there and he jumped back down and I didn't notice? Oh no, he's still climbing up. He's on his way up. Need help? You might need some help. Is your claw stuck? Okay, he needs a little bit of help. Hold on. He had a stuck claw. He was like hanging there like, help me! Alright, so this is login.policy version. And then reset password token. And Twitch name. You do chill, chat, and song requests. Okay, cool. All right, so did I break anything? I should probably do another incognito login to make sure this all works still. Remember me, yes. And then if I reset it, reconnects in, yeah, okay, we're good. Still good. Hey there, Epic Unknown. How are you today? Casper is back on the cat tower. Yeah, today I've been refactoring out my Redux reducers. So, for example, this now we're about to pull into 4 different smaller reducers to make it more manageable. It was 7 pieces, and we've already broken 3 of them out. This is the stuff about authenticator setup. This is login stuff. This is what panel you have selected. And these are the remainders. So I need input, character, profile, and tickets. So this is going to be input reducer. And just has the input state. Export default and get rid of this table down here and remove all the cases. And then we're going to go find the cases that had dialog choices in them, pull them out and put them here. And input context. Well, that's easy. It's just 2 of them. Nice and simple reducer we have here. So then the original would remove these 2 variables, and then we need to import input. Input reducer, there we go. And then input, and then search replace legacy dot dialog choices with input dot dialog choices. And then the same thing for, okay, this one I want to turn into input dot context. And then I'll just do here not there though, and not there. So just here and here, context. There we go. And make sure that I didn't break anything. Okay. I really should just keep this incognito window up because the input context is that box in the lower right, or lower left. Remember me, please. So it's this context, talk, attack, chat, hello. What was the other variable in there? Dialogue choices. So we need to like talk to George and get to that dialogue. Peasant. Okay, so I've run through all of them. It all works. Back to index. Next stream will be 300 episode. Yes, it will be. And I had no idea what I can do to make it special, so I'm open to suggestions. Should I wear a funny hat? Should I do something with the cat? I don't know. Put a little party hat on the cat? He'll hate it, but, you know. Should I wear a party hat? I don't know. Open to suggestions. Character reducer. A lot of this is now mechanical to me. So just deleting that, deleting this, making this export default, and then combine or do. So delete all of that. Then looking for inventory. Reflect inventory. Easy. And move cooled down. Okay, so that's begin and end. Actually, that should go there. Quickly stick together some kind of in-game event, like a firework item. I mean, kind of similar to these sparks that jump off of the lava? I don't know. The sprites for these particles are limited to 32 by 32 pixels, so it wouldn't be a very large firework. I don't know. I'm taking suggestions though. I'm putting them down. Suggestions for stream 300. Okay, see you, Spheres. Have a good stream. Have a good day, my friend. Okay, what was the last change I did? Okay, I did that, and then inventory, character reducer, right? Inventory is legacy.inventory becomes character inventory. And the same thing with move cooled down. And then in the index, I have to import it. Character. All right. Okay, inventory. Again, I need... I'm just going to leave this window up now. Although I guess it doesn't hurt running through this login procedure. It doesn't take that long. Yeah, did you guys notice that I have, you can have inventory tiles now that animate? I added that over the weekend, I think. And I got it to work with the drag drop. That was one of the tickets in GitHub that I had in there for a long, long time. It was to have the tiles drawn in the inventory use the same system as the tiles drawn in the editor down here. So it's using the same React component to draw it here as it does here. So that's why it animates. It supports anything that this supports, including if I had frame animation, it would show it here too. This is the scroll animation, which is slightly different. It's basically changing the UV coordinate of this tile every, what is that? I forget what the scheme is. You can't even see that number, can you? I'd have to scroll that. It says 8,000. I think that means a full cycle of 32 steps takes 8 seconds. That's the convention that I picked. Anyway, it doesn't matter. But yeah, we can have animated tiles in the inventory now. Let's see. Next. Profile. Okay. Profile reducer. So we'll want profile shape, but not tile set shape, right? And what's this used for? That's in tickets. Actually, I just noticed something. That tile set shape is never used. Oh, it is used. Where is tile sets though? Oh, it's with tickets. Okay, that's not where it should go. There should be another one, right? I guess I'll just make it it'll only have tile sets in it, but it should have other things that have to do with graphics, right? What if we just call it graphics? Yeah, why not? Okay, so this has only the profile in it. Not the tickets. Export default. Remove that. Remove all the case statements. Okay, now we're looking for the ones that have to do with the profile. Just select a tile and tile set 2. Oh, really? Okay. So let's find that. Oh yeah, you're right. Look at that. Actually, that should go in the admin, shouldn't it? That we might end up moving later, but yeah, you're right. So that goes there. But I think you can't select a tile unless you are the admin. So it really should be under admin something. Like admin world. It should probably go here. Tile sets is needed by normal players though. That's how we draw the graphics in the in phaser middleware. Okay. Profile reducer. Mail shown. Hide mail. Next. Session end. Okay. I'm going to do this in all the other reducers when I get to it. This should just return the initial state. Show mail. And we're done. Let's remove, let's just, this should just do return initial state also. Okay, so name or address. I need to move out of range of hearing combat noises. Let's move over to here. Okay, name or address. Change profile result. Okay, actually, we're going to want profile too, so let's pull these out. Clear password result also. Actually, all of these are profile related. All right. Session start. Oh, right, that is needed. Okay, so pull that out. And paste it there, okay. New profile. Okay, do I want this whole thing? I think I do. Reflect, so that goes there. Set password result, yes. I need that here. Actually, not there. There. You like that? You like my kitty? His name is Casper. So whenever he decides to sit on that tower, I turn on my secondary camera, which is hanging above him, pointing straight down. I know he'll occasionally, when he's sleeping up there, he'll occasionally rotate too. It's the cutest thing. He'll like get up, turn, lay down again. Reflect tiles. Actually, shouldn't that go with graphics? I think that should. Let's move this num avatar tiles and move it to graphics. There. So then its profile loaded then is next. Oh, already taken care of. Profile being fetched. Already taken care of. Profile. Already taken care of. And Twitch. Reflect Twitch. Right there. Then I'm done. So I can remove that. And then import profile. From profile reducer. But there. I know. The kitty just makes my content so wholesome. Without him, it would not. There'd be like a hole in the wholesomeness, right? I think so. How did I go 280 streams without a cat cam? I don't know. I guess it's positive evolution of the stream. When I started streaming, I didn't know how to stream. I didn't have a camera. It was just my voice and the screen, and it was awful. And then we added the camera, and then we added the cat camera, and it became a real stream, right? Is that like the evolution of a stream? You know, a stream has been on for a while if there's a cat cam or a dog cam or a bird cam or something like that. Or maybe all three, and that would be Tim Baudette's channel. Where he's got a cat, a dog, and a bird. Profile being loaded. Rename, please. Thanks. Profile being fetched is not used anywhere? Really? Oh, wow. I guess we don't need it. Let's remove it. We don't need it. Another variable I didn't need. Nice. Okay, profile. Legacy profile. Profile. Okay, so we should probably change this, right? Oh, what to name it though? Profile dot what? It'll be state.profile. I don't know, record or something? Or entries or details? How about details? I like that. So it'll be session profile. Okay, you can't even see it because it's off the screen. How about I do this? And you still can't see it. Oh well. Sorry. How about if I do that? Then it's right above my head. Profile details. I think that looks okay. Let's do it. So this has to be called details here. So profile becomes details, but only in the reducer. Only in that file. Actually, I have to be really careful because I don't want to hit this action either. Actually, we're okay. This will work. This is good. Do it. All right. And then Twitch. So legacy Twitch becomes profile.twitch. Now I'm sure I broke something. Actually, it looks like it's working. I can change the icon. That all works. Resets it. Good. You successfully confused Frosty by playing 4 minutes 33 second. I don't, I'm missing some context there. I'm pretty sure I'm missing something. But, congrats, I guess? Everything seems to work here. All right, so we're good so far. Continuing. We have 2 more, tickets and graphics. So copy this. It's called tickets reducer. I think when I'm done with this, I'm going to end the stream because it'll be a good stopping point. Okay, so I don't need profile or tile set shape. I need initialized tickets search criteria though, because that's used here to kind of make it look nicer. And this is export default. I already got rid of the thing on the bottom. Okay. All right. So, okay. Selected ticket. Reflect tickets, yes. And probably reflect ticket scene as well. Select ticket, yes. Ticket removed, ticket update, unselect ticket, paste, we're good. Okay, how about tickets? Ticket reported, yes, okay. This top case. And then ticket search criteria. Set ticket search criteria, sounds good to me. Right here. Okay, so I can remove this now. And then import tickets. From tickets reducer, add tickets to the list. And then we're going to rename stuff here. So legacy dot selected ticket becomes tickets dot selected ticket. And then ticket search, actually, ticket search criteria. Let's make that called search criteria, tickets dot search criteria. So then I'm going to do that as well. X that. Say yes to that. Okay, and then this is the hardest one here. Legacy dot tickets. I don't want to be tickets dot tickets. We'll make it tickets dot list. The hardest thing is within this file, I want to change tickets to list, but I want to be very careful about it. So first, I have to close everything but tickets reducer. And I gotta be very careful about this. Why is the diff broken? Let's delete it. I don't know. It was broken for a second. So actually I can change it and then just change action.list back, right? Yeah, let's do that. So when I change this, then I'll change action list back to back to action.tickets. So action.list, select all and make it action.tickets. There, and we're done. So try it out. Seems to work. Can I add a note to a ticket that's not locked? Hi. It worked. Does this filter work? Yep. All right, good. So the last but not least, right, is the graphics. So graphics reducer. No profile shape, but there is a tile set shape. I don't need to see it. This goes. This stays. Export default. Since we're doing the last one, it's extremely easy. I just need to make sure that there's nothing here that shouldn't be. Oh, inventory is here. That should have gone somewhere else. Okay, see you, Twiggly Bits, and thanks again for the raid. Okay, that shouldn't go there either. Okay, I made some, looks like I made some mistakes. So, which one had inventory? Character? Aha. Oh, it already copied, I just forgot to remove it from here. And what about OTP error? That was an authenticator, right? Okay, yes. So that isn't in the right place either. That wasn't in the initial shape, I think that's the problem. Yeah, it wasn't in the initial shape, so I guess we'll set it to null. And bring over the action that sets it. There's probably another one, right? That clears it. No? So we set it, but we never clear it? That's not good. We should probably clear it at some point. Unless this reflects an empty string at some point. Why do I have an... Oh, I forgot to do that. Right now it's just doing the raw string. Let me not forget to do this again. So the key to not forgetting is to put it on a list somewhere. Interpret back... What is it exactly? OTP setup. It's one-time password is what it is. One-time password setup or result. Errors. It is a bug. Submit. Now I won't forget it, and it's nice to do to remember me. Remind me another way. Will I stream during New Year's? I don't think so. I'm gonna stream New Year's Eve tomorrow. Probably though I'll take New Year's off and then stream Thursday and Friday. And hello, worship the sofa. Don't worship the sofa too much now. You got to get up and exercise once in a while. Yeah, I guess I could stream New Year's. Let's say I might stream New Year's and leave it at that, but don't count on it. Hi. All right, OTP result is back. Is not supposed to be here. It is in Authenticator Reducer there, so I don't need it. Wait a minute. I don't need it here anymore. Oh, right. We're going to remove this anyway. Graphics reducer, right. So this should have just these variables in it. Tile set updated, select tile. Selected tile? Yep. Select tile set, initial state. Okay, looks good. So that means this just needs to import it now, and I don't need the action types anymore. So just import graphics is not after G is not after I, is it? It's before I, and then I don't need any of this stuff anymore. We just export the combination. All right, and then num avatar tiles legacy becomes graphics dot. Selected tile for legacy becomes graphics dot. Selected tile set. And then tile sets. And done. Unless I broke something. Looks like I broke it. Legacy. All right, we removed legacy. It does not exist anymore. Okay, I broke the tile sets. Okay, there's still previous panel. Ooh, how did that happen? previous panel. Should be in panel reducers. How did that become... How did I miss that? Huh. It's one lone thing I missed. Did you change the OPT error from the legacy? I'll check. That is in authentication now. I mean, authenticator reducer, right? OTP error. Let's find out. Nope, I didn't. Thank you, Toulouse. That should be, let's just do it this way. That becomes authenticator. It's just one place. But that we would have found out later, too late. Should I go through that whole authentication process to verify that? So, yeah, this will be interesting. So let's test it out. I need to get my authenticator app. I use Authy. It's decent. So it worked. So this is, so even, you should never do this for a real production system because then other people will break your two-factor authentication. You should always do this where no one else can see the screen. So either I can type that into Authy or I can do this clever thing that I say add account and then scan QR code and I just point my camera at my own screen. And you can follow along at home if you want. And then I hit done and now I have a token and I'm going to type the token in. And you guys should be seeing the same token. Validate. And it is enabled. And there are my backup codes. If I wanted to, I could use that. So let me actually test a backup code. I will take one of these backup codes and take it to the clipboard. Log out now, and I'm going to log in, and I'm going to do Raimu, Hunter2, and then a backup code. And didn't work. I guess there's something wrong with the backup code stuff. Let's try the real token, 046533. There's something wrong with the backup OTPs. Let me just debug that later. I don't have time for that right now. Let's just say backup OTPs are broken. But the normal authenticator worked. So let me disable that and then verify that I can log in without the 6-digit code now. I was going to go back and improve this too, right? Right now, if you enable the authenticator, you have to type your normal password and then the 6-digit code if it's enabled. I was going to change it so you have to enter the password and then it should prompt you for the 6-digit code. So I disabled the authenticator so I can remove this account, right? How do I remove the thing again? I forget how to do this. Like settings and then accounts. All right, accounts, and then find the correct one and swipe delete. Yes. Gives me 48 hours to undelete it if I made a mistake, which is really nice, I think. All right. I think I'm almost done. I just need to check this in. So, and then later I'll go figure out what I did to the backup OTP stuff. Hey there, Plemindo. You have advice on how to check if SQL have callback inside. I actually don't know how to do that, but maybe someone else in chat does. My knowledge of SQL is very, very basic. Like I know how to do, from table, select, row where column equals value, right? That is a SQL statement. That's about it. That's all I really know. If a SQL has a callback inside, do you mean like if there's a stored procedure in a table somewhere? My guess would be that you would have to fetch the schema for the database and check if a column has a stored procedure in it. But that's just a wild guess. I have no idea if I'm right. Someone else in chat know? Meanwhile, I'm gonna go check in this code. Oh, right, we removed that because we didn't need it. I'm just gonna check the whole thing in together, saying that we have refactored the session reducer to split it into many pieces. In time creating the database, you think you make a callback. I hope we're talking about the same thing. By callback, I'm thinking you mean stored procedure, but it might mean something else, like if the act of creating the database calls something back. I think that would be specific to the kind of database then, and I wouldn't really know. I'm only really familiar with MySQL, and I don't use any callbacks. Backdoor. I think the way either way you'd have to, the way you check is you just have to ask the database for the schema and check if there is something in there that is either a backdoor or a callback or a stored procedure or something. That's the way you'd do it. And something like checking the database schema, I think, don't you need special access for that? So it's not something a normal user would probably be able to do anyway. Backdoor, yeah. So yeah, I don't really know other than looking at the database schema to see if there's something funny there. Okay, so this is split a refactor session reducer into smaller pieces. That's what we're going to do. Oh, and I never really updated my current task. So it wasn't admin, it was session for the last hour. No one noticed. That's okay. It was mostly correct. But I think I'm going to call it here. So I'm actually pretty happy that I split up my reducers into pieces. So if I collapse everything, right? And I look at player console source reducers, now I have admin session and then I have these little ones. And if I look under session, I have the different pieces and admin has different pieces. And then any one of my views will probably look a lot nicer, right? If I look under activities panels, character panel, for example, this is mostly pulling from the admin, but there's also a session character, session graphics. So that looks really nice. I like it. You're writing a Reddit comment and didn't look? Oh, the question about SQL was advice how to check if SQL has a callback or a backdoor built into it. And I don't know the answer. My apologies. Okay, so I'm going to call it there. I'm not sure what I'm going to do tomorrow, New Year's Eve. Know about something not updated. Oh, it was this current task thing above my head. It said admin for the last hour, and really I was working on the session reducer. Yeah, good luck, Plemendo. I'm sorry I can't really help you. So, I don't know what I'm going to be doing for tomorrow, New Year's Eve, so I'll have to figure out what I'm doing tomorrow. I imagine what I could do. Oh, I know what I could be doing. If this is refactoring week, the next thing to refactor would be these actual components. So, for example, if this thing has a ton of props and is really long, 336 lines, I could probably break this up into, I could probably break this up into smaller components, right? Yeah, that's probably what I'm going to be doing tomorrow, going and refactoring React components. You won't be around tomorrow? Okay. Have a good New Year's Day, New Year's Eve, such grind. So, yeah, thank you for watching today. I'm probably gonna raid Adam if he's still streaming. Because if you haven't seen Adam stream, you really should. Working on a game called Botland. And his game is released. It's in production, and he's working on improving it. And I really look up to him as a streamer. He's been streaming for many years. He's probably, in my opinion, the best dev streamer on Twitch. He's got an excellent balance between work and chat, and he's got lots and lots of organizational tips. So let me see. Yeah, he's still going. And let me see if he's on break. He's not on break. Okay, good. Hold on. Thank you for that follow, by the way. I didn't catch who it was, but thank you very much. Okay, so if you haven't seen Adam before, I hope to. What's the right way to say this? I think you'll be in for a treat. And if you have seen Adam before, then you know that we can never go wrong in rating him. So we'll be back tomorrow refactoring React components in my game. Hope to see you then. Okay? Have a good one. Bye.